let's just say that over this room, it could be recorded. And we said later we can even just use the all sounds that are all recorded here for broadcastings, so this is our goals. Because as you see, there are a lot of, let's say, gossips about the Iranian people up to now. There are a lot of propaganda from the regime side. They always try to, let's just pollute the air. So everywhere they find, they try to give the wrong message to the people of the world. They always try to say that, hey, the Iranian people want that, want this. So now, for the first time, I would say we will try to have a kind of room here in Clubhouse to say our comments and to clarify some things that maybe there are a lot of misunderstanding among the internationals groups. Everywhere you find some people, they all may have some ideas about Iran. There are for sure a lot of the regime's propaganda. They always try to say something's wrong on behalf of the peoples in Iran. For today, as we discussed with our friends, we also try to have some survey, a kind of poll in our clubhouse room. I would just maybe pin it within a few minutes later in our room that you guys, you all have also right to vote for. Maybe you are fans of war. Maybe you want to stop war. Okay. Let's just clarify something from the beginning. It's not really important how good you are at your language now, I mean the English language, as long as you can even just transfer what you want to say, it's enough. My language is also not perfect. Let me just clarify from the beginning. So I'm not so, maybe not so fluent. The things is that let's just once for all speak in the same language that all the people can understand, not even just in Clubhouse. We try to also shift it later, maybe these recordings in some other areas like X or the social medias, all in all, okay? We want to clarify some points that are misunderstood. Today, actually, when I was just about to come home, I saw a colleague who just told me, hey, what's wrong with you guys? I don't understand. We have to talk about the issues because I see something I cannot even understand what is actually behind your opinions in your country. What's happening now? Some people, they have also the flags of Israel. What does that mean? Do you guys are just the fans of Israeli people? Don't you think that the Netanyahu is also a kind of a big criminal or something like that? I said, let's just forget about what we always listen from the leftist side. There is something we call as humanity, yes, for sure. But when the humanity is just for a few bunch of people, and when in the same mottos that you try to use, the humanity does not have in reality any big meaning, it's just nonsense, We always saw that these leftist parties, they all try to organize a lot of huge demonstrations over the Gaza period. A lot of pro-Gaza, hey, let's just go down to Israel. We fight for Gaza, we fight for Palestinian. I'm quite sure that a lot of them, they don't even understand what is the true meaning of these people that they were supporting. So there are a lot of peoples who just got, I would say, they just went into a big propaganda. They've been just cheated. That's the point. They've all been cheated. They didn't know that when they see a lot of, oh, that's a poor guys, that's a lot of poor kids. Oh, come on, they all kill their kids. Now they are now criminals. Let's just go for Palestinian without even knowing that what is actually behind the curtains. Is that all? And the second biggest questions, we know that in our countries, Iran, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, if you guys, maybe there are some people even in this room that they are the Native American speakers. Let's just clarify, we are all Iranians now in this room. We want to dedicate this room now for once for all in Clubhouse to you guys to have a better understanding of what are feelings nowadays. The things is that when all the propagandas, all the medias were just fighting for Gaza, I was thinking at that time, okay, maybe the Westerns, they also not that much one side, when they see that, okay, these third world white countries, they are always under pressures and they don't even care. They don't give a fuck to these people. But something changed my mind, to be honest, and I'm quite angry. I'm super angry when I saw what happened in my country and the reaction what we saw from these leftist parties, from these leftist groups, was actually full of racism. There was nothing special they did at all. From those figures like, I don't know, Greta May, or a lot of guys who just call themselves activists, environmental activists, all the leftist parties, that they were all just having such a kind of scarf in their necks, and they were just chanting for Israel, for Palestinian, free Palestine, free Palestine. And then what happened when my country at 8th and 9th of January, we had a big protest, over a million for people in my country, in Iran. They were out to fight for their freedom. They were fighting for their freedom, and they had no weapon. Their protest was quite peaceful. What happened from another side? The same biggest supporter of Hamas in Palestinian territory, they just put the weapons in front of the kids, in front of the men, in front of the women. They did a huge massacre. The true statistics and all the evidence that we found out from these 2 days, these 2 days, 8th and 9th of January, it shows us over 35,000 people have been only killed in these 2 days. And what happened in the world? What happened over these leftists, these activists who were chanting for freedom, who were chanting for Palestinian people, who were chanting for injustice for the Palestinian? What happened to them? They were all silent, quite silent. They were all blinded. They did not even just follow up the news. Why? Because they saw maybe, oh, okay, look at here. There are some flags that these Iranians are also carrying when they protest against the regime, and that's a flag of Israel. Okay, let's just put our minds away from these issues. The humanities is not for the Iranians, it's just for the, I don't know, the Palestinian people. And they don't even know what is actually the difference between these two nations. Today, we are not talking about the racism issues. I myself, I'm quite an anti-racism guy, to be honest. I hate that somebody says, okay, because I'm coming from that country or I have that race, then I'm more, I don't know, educated, or in some cases, I'm a better human. No, that's a fucking bullshit. That's what we all know. But the point is that when we just figure it out, what was the vote of the Palestinians? Who they vote for, and what happened when such a tragedy happened in Gaza before. You see that over one day in 7th of October, these Hamas group, which we truly call them as terrorist Hamas groups, they all attack to the music festivals. To the music festivals. They kill over 2,000, at least 2,000 innocent people. Also the girls, the boys, the kids that were all gathering there to have fun. That was their only problems. That was their only fault. They all wanted to be happy. They were in a music festival. They were just dancing. They were happy at that time. And these terrorists, they once for all, they just attacked. They did also the same massacre that this fucking Islamic regime did in our country. And after they put their corpse, the corpse of these girls, these kids, into their cars, they put them back into Gaza. They were just swinging this corpus. And you know what was the reaction of that people? That people who, most of them, they chose these terrorist groups, this Hamas group. They were all happy. They were also dancing on the street to see the corpse, these bodies, these dead bodies that they see. And what happened in my country? Do you know which people have been killed in Iran? What types of people are we talking about? You can even just search now. I think there are a lot of humanitarian organizations where you can just simply just take a look quickly just to find it. Okay, here there are. All of them, mostly, I would say, the highly educated people, the peoples who you can even just watch at their backgrounds. You see what types of people have been massacred in Iran in 8th and 9th of January. They all came, they all went for their freedom. And what was the reaction of this regime, this current regime, which is being bombarded by America and US, Israel? They just try to make a genocide. They shut down the internet. They already just make a blackout in the whole country, and they did the massacre. And we knew that because you don't have to go inside the propagandas from the regime. They are all over the world, specifically in the Europe and US. They are all here. The regime people are really organized and they are super powerful in here. So that's why maybe you see the fake news and you believe, okay, I don't understand. Some Iranians, they don't want war. Some Iranians maybe, but there are also a lot of people, they don't want war. And who the hell want war? Do you think that we are stupid? We don't know that the war is bad. Everyone knows. For the future of our lives, we did what we could. We were not equipped with the weapons. We had no gunnery. We had no machine guns that the regime had. So what's the solution? When the regime killed over 40,000 people within a week, and they try to pretend there were some people from not from Iran. They came, some terrorists. They did that, not we. But then came the videos. Then came these people, this shutter, this military, who are clearly with the same badges of IRGC. They were just carrying the massive weapons to massacre my people. So what happened there? What was the point? And why the peoples of Iran are now not really against Israel? It's quite clear. And I think it's quite logical because we are the people of logics. We are not the peoples who are deeply drawn into religions and we fuck up our minds. No, we are quite open-minded people. We know that if a country wants to get rid of this fucking regime in our country, then we have the common sense together. They can also help us. Why not? When they have the weapons, and now it comes over the past decades, and other parts of this regime, they call themselves reformists. And these reformists, they try to play with the peoples over the past decades. Over the past decades, they were always playing with the people. They every 4 years, they had some presidency, and that was a comic circus, a circus. They always chose their own candidate. Okay, this is bad, this is worse. You can choose between bad and worse. Which one do you want to choose? And then the people said, okay, we have no other solution. Let's go for bad. Maybe he promised what he says over his promises. And then he was chosen. He fucked up. He was even much worse than maybe that monster that all the people were scared from him to go for vote. They always force the people to pretend what they are not indeed. The peoples of Iran. I came out. Let's just give you guys a brief about my background. Okay, so I live now in Germany. That's just about 10 years ago since I left my country. I was on the green movement in my country. I was at that time on the streets of Tehran. I was fighting also at that time for my freedoms. I saw in front of my eyes 8 youngs that were shot by bullets, shot by the bullets. And what was at that time the reaction of United States? You know what? That was this Democrats and other parties in US which always try to help these reformists, these so-called reformists in Iran, I mean inside the Islamic regime. Obama sent a letter to this supreme leader, to this Ali Khamenei, that the people, they all celebrate as they found him dead last 2 weeks. Maybe you also saw some movies, or I don't know, the people who they're celebrating in your countries all over the European and the US country, that they were all just chanting when they heard that this sentence come out from President Donald Trump, as he said, Ali Khamenei is dead, and the people were just making the music from it. They were all happy that this big dictator is away. Wow, what a relief after such a thousands innocent people that have been massacred by this fucking asshole. Now the people maybe can take a breath. This fucking Obama, I'm so sorry just even just to use such a word sometimes, because I have no other version to call this guy, this Democrat side, how betrayed them to the Iranian people over the past decade. They always wanted to deal with this fucking regime. He sent a letter to the Supreme Leader at the same times that we had this green movement in Iran, in the streets of Iran, to just to come, okay, just to come again, let's just make a nuclear deal. That was one of the biggest betrayal. We never forget the people of Iran, what this Democrat did to our peoples. And these Democrats are still so active. I mean, these reformists that always were looking to find a president from Democrat sides, they are also super active in US. All sons, a lot of people who are the relative of this fucking regime, they are all in US. Some of them, even they just teach in the universities. They always call themselves, okay, we are the activists. But in reality, they make joke of the peoples in Iran. They are the same propaganda, the false propaganda that you may also listen to. They had some powerful organization in US. We call them as NAYAK. Maybe also we have the better pronunciation for that. I later, when I just finished my first part for the introduction, I just invite the peoples who may also speak much better than me to just speak with you guys. We make also, they made some fucking false polls. We even just talked about it yesterday. That, for example, before even the 12 days war between Israel and US, they support another completely false survey. They call it that the question was whether the people of Iran, they want war or they are anti-wars. And over this completely false propaganda, you see that, okay, more than 58% of people, they said that they are anti-war. Who said that? And when you see that all the participants, they were not even more than 1,000 people, just 1,000 people. And we have the evidence that more than 500 of these people, they are exactly employed from the same fucking organization, NAYAK, who is the supporter of these reformists in US. They always try to wash the brains. They're washing your brains. And that's why today we want to invite from the real people. The real people, maybe directly from Iran, they already shut down the internet. But the people, so there are some people that may have also some relatives out. They can also come out. We make now online another survey. I can just promise, if we wait for here, the same 1,000 votes come here. The same 1,000 votes. And then you will see at the end of the room how many of these 1,000 voters they vote for continuing the war, or just let's just stop it. Then you will see the reality. So that's why we are here now today. The thing is that when we find it out that those people have been killed in my country, and this leftist side, they were all silent. And when these peoples in Gaza were also, I don't really want to say, okay, that was also just something that we also accept. There is another issue. We don't want to just complete, we are not so complicated. Let's just be honest. But we see also the reality. The another side that most of these leftist parties, most of the leftist groups, they did not even just take a damn on it. I mean, who's gonna just treat with the people who even just vote for the terrorists quite peacefully? Sometimes it's quite impossible, and that's exactly the point that now we Iranians we are on the same stage after this mascara that we have no other solutions. We know that the reforms does not even. This is just a big joke. This this is not going to happen at all. We tried over 20 years. We just try to find it out whether a little bit reform inside this fucking structure in this ideologic monster, guys, is possible. We find it out that was quite a bullshit. And then we try to fight for our freedoms. Our response was bullets. So then we ask for help. We ask for help. On the second part of this room, we will even just talk about who we believe can lead us over the transition period. There is also these leftist guys, they were not just only silent, but also they try to give you another mispropaganda. They always try to behave with our chosen guy as a guy that, oh, just take care of him. Maybe he's another dictator who's coming. Take a look at his father. What did your father to your country? And we know exactly Iranians nowadays what his father did to us. Such a patriot guy who was just trying to save Iran at his age. Unfortunately, it was also another plot. Nowadays, the founding shows that at that time, even the big superpowers were not happy with Shah. They wanted him to go away. Because at that time, when he was just making an interview, just 1 year before this Islamic, they call it as revolution. For us, that was a revolt. He just talked with a correspondent from, I think that was also the CNN, these fucking Democrats again. He asked him, at that time they wanted to sell Iranians the fighters, these F-16 fighters. And that was the big discussion in the parliament. They said, okay, if they don't decide to give you the fighters, you don't want to sell us the oil? And the Shah looked at him for a few seconds and said, this is the least things that we do. That was quite independent guy who was always at that time in a position who a lot of the Europeans, even the US, they will just look at him as a street. Let's just be honest. So that's why they didn't even care that there are some a big plot who's just happening there. They just left him alone, and then these assholes, they came out, these monsters came out. This Khomeini, he also fucked them up, all of them. The first leader of this so-called Islamic regime. He said at the beginning, he never hatched up his hand. He said at the beginning, okay, let's just, we have no problems. We want also democracy. Let's see what's going to happen. As far as they took the power, now you see what happened after. He just make fun of all of these guys who just let him freely just to come into Tehran and just call him as okay, this is the leader of this revolution. And now we people of Iran, over 47 years, we are suffering of this dirty play that happened to us. So after that period, we always try to find a solution. We did a lot of protests. We did the massive protests. That was with the mottos, maybe you guys also remember, Woman, Life, Freedom. That was about 3 years ago. Mahsa Amini, who was shot again by this police, let's say, what do we call these assholes? They said they call themselves the military military, moral police, moral police. Let's just take a look at these funny words they made up. They kill him, they kill her, and the people of the Iran, they were again on the streets. What happened? 1,600 people again were shot. And this, I don't even just want to call them as animals. They are even less than a kind of some things on the planet who even can take a breath. The representative in the assembly, they came and they said, they look at the people, they look at the media, they said, we did not just even shot at their heads, we even just shot at their foods. You know, that was, I think, one of their minister as he came to the parliament, to their so-called dictator parliament. So they try to kill again, just okay, wipe it away. United Nations? Oh, come on, United Nations is funny nowadays. No, it's just a puppet. It's just a puppet. It's just they just, oh, you did bad things. After a few months later, they invite the regime's people to come there to even just be a chairman of their I don't know, meetings. The super funny words, right? So the things happen. The people, they all went on the streets, but how? How could these people all of a sudden, after this massive crash, after three years, they again came on the streets to fight for their freedoms? They believe in a guy who can help us, and he has also promised us to do the leaderships for the transition period. He always said that I don't want to just be a dictator. I don't want to be also just a king or whatever. We have a system. As far as we can just get rid of this fucking regime, we start just going on based on our charts. I'm gonna show you also over these rooms for the charts. I don't want to just talk too much now for the first side. I try to invite the people to just to talk one by one. But there is one truth you should not forget. These million people who were on the streets all over the Iran at 8th and 9th of January 2026, last 3 months, they came behalf of his cause, Prince Reza Pahlavi. If you follow the whole news, more than 99% of the videos you see from all over the Iran, you see that on these videos at that night that they even try to genocide, to massacre the people, they are chanting for him. They call his name. And then what happened? The leftist guys, Democrats, CNN, this Christian Amanpour, they're all active. They say, who said that you have the majority? Who said that you have the minority? The people are being died, and these assholes, they try to find a way just to give him away his legitimacy. This is super annoying when I use these words, because I have no other ways to express my feeling to you guys. Okay, I think now for the introduction, it's enough just to find it out that what is our rooms about. I would suggest that the peoples in this room who can speak in English language, I'm super sorry for my friends that we always just make rooms in the Persian language here. That if you think that you're not speaking in the I don't know, the English language, for today it's better that you guys also just take a rest. But for the people who are able just to speak, it's not matter that you are fluent or you're not fluent. As you see, I'm also not fluent. I can only just speak, you know. You can join now to us just to say your comments and to find it out to these peoples that they have always dilemma. Okay, what's happening in Iran? Who were the peoples that they show sometimes they come on the streets and they say down on USA? Today they had also another big propaganda. Are they really the people of Iran? Who are the people who have these flags of lions and suns, and they at the same time they have also the flags of Israel and US? What's wrong with these people? We're gonna answer to your questions. We're gonna answer to your question to maybe we can find a bridge between us that we can at least better understand each other. So I'm gonna invite now some of my friends who already also just took their hands. Maybe Sohail, and let's just call. I would try just to add all the people. But I said already there is one red line, guys. No Farsi today. No Farsi. If you think that you are not able to speak English, please just be just as an audience. Okay. I would start from Sohail. Sohail, if you can, let's just start with you.
Hello, Jesus, how are you? And hello to another audience who hear my voice. I support you and I agree with you, Khosrow. Now we have two Islamic Republic in the world. One of them inside our Iran, who lead by Ayatollah Khamenei's son, and one of Islamic Republic outside Iran, who leads by many shed person, for example, Mehdi Nourbakhsh, Ali Reza Mustafi, and some of them. We are fighting with two Islamic Republic right now. And friends, I'm here today to speak about a deadly silence. For 47 years, the people of Iran have faced a regime that lives on oppression. But today, the pain is not just about the crimes, it's about the media blackout. Especially this past January, Deimah, we saw a massacre in Iran. Yet, on the big global TV screens, there was nothing, silence. There is no news about this massacre. There is no media about this big massacre in Iran. Why? Why are the globalists and left-wing media closing their eyes? Are you human? Why do their cameras go dark when it comes to Iran? These media outlets claim to defend the oppressed, but for 47 years we have been forced to eat the dirty meal they cooked for us. Poverty, execution, and fear. They never understood Iran. They never wanted to understand our fight for freedom. They preferred their own political stories over the truth of our blood our blood in the streets. I have one question. Where are the activists who sent ships to Gaza? As you mentioned, Keikosro, Greta Thunberg, Swedish guys, and another left activities. Where are you, the voice shooting for justice? Did Iran not have a coast? Yes, Hazar. And uh, Iran, big country, Iran has coast. Did our beaches in north and south not see the blood of our youth? Why was there no ship for the people of Iran? Mm, some months ago, they went with ship to the Gaza. We are going to survive the Gaza. We are going to help them. Now, why did no international group move to break the the human blood in my country? This shows us their slogan are not about humanity. They are about politics. Okay, Khosrow, today I went to a restaurant, and when they understand that I'm Iranian, one of them came to me, oh, we are support you. I asked them why. They told me, oh, we hear that any students and any school has been attacked by America and US and Israel. And I explained them, this is not true. This is not true story about what happened in Iran. Unfortunately, left-wing media sent them wrong information about what happened, what's going on in Iran. We tell the world today, you black and you blackout will not stop us. 47 years have taught us not to wait for a miracle from the global media. The truth of Iran is written and is written in the blood of January, Deima, 1 month ago, 2 months ago, not in the studios of New York and London. We will be our voice. We will break this silence, and we will fight with Islamic Republic in Iran. We will fight with Islamic Republic outside the Iran. Media, Iranian media, some of them agree with Ayatollahs. Mehdi Nurbakhsh, Ali Reza Mustafi, Mustafa Shams, Said Tufani, and some of them. And we will fight with this shit media, left-wing media, who they are silent about the truth of Iran, what happened in Iran. Me, Kekhosro, and many of our friends, we are satisfied from this war. It's not war, Kekhosro. I'm going to be honest with you and with my friends. They are not. It's not war. This is a big operation to survive us, to rescue the hostages in Iran. Some operation for rescue uh, and survive the hostages, 1%, 2%, 3% in some bank, in some office. But right now, there are 90 million hostages in Iran, and this operation is going to survive us. From the Ayatollah's gun 2 months ago, they killed nearly 40,000 innocent people in the street in 2 nights, and nearly 100,000 people right now in prison, in Evin prison, in Tabriz prison. I have correct and directly information about Tabriz prison. Now 8,000 prisoners in Tabriz prison, and 300,000 have been injured in this massacre in Iran. And me and our friends and many of Iranian, you can see in media, Iran international media and Instagram, and some of them you can read the mention of Iran. We are satisfied. We are happy for this operation. We support the US. We support the Israel. We support the Bibi Netanyahu. We support the Trump. Thank you, Trump. Right now, you help us. You help our people. You help our people who right now are under force by Iranian regime. Right now in the streets, Iranian IRGC terrorist system put the guns, put the cars under the streets, under the some of the corner of the street, undergrounds of civilian places For example, um, in and I cannot mention the name of some of them because of information, but you can find what happened in Iran, what's going in Iran. IRGC is not Iran. IRGC is a force, is a military for Iranian government's ideological system. And finally, my friends, we will be free as soon as possible. And we are not give up. And we will be free soon, and we will come back to our country, and we will make our country. Thank you, Hekosro, and I will come back to you
Oh,
as
okay,
soon.
thank you so much, Sohel. Let me just clarify something for the guys that may also just listen us now at this moment. Guys, I told from the beginnings in this room that maybe we are not perfect by the language. And that's exactly the point, that if even we are not perfect in language, it doesn't matter at all. I think for the native people who they can hear us, they can truly understand even by this way that we are the true people. We are not the fake ones. We are not the fake ones who were just, I don't know, who were raised behalf of the Islamic regime's money for over the decades in US or any other places. And now we come here and said, oh, we are the people of Iran. We just want to stop the war, please. War is bad. Okay, let's just forget about the war. No, and that's exactly the way. So please just be a little bit serious. This is not really if you think that okay, now this room is not a little bit blah 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 blah, please just leave the room now, okay? And I told from the beginning the rules. If even one word would be spoken on this stage in our language, Farsi, I would just give the people's down, okay? Because in this room we all were already also organized that maybe at the end when we also finish our rooms, we try to broadcast some of the talks that happen here, and later we can some other people they can even just use it. We by the way, before we listen just to the other people, I made a poll there about me. You can see now the poll, you can see the survey. I made a question: are you in favor of continuing the war or stop it now in Iran? There are two options for you to choose. First one, yes, please continue and help. And the second one, no, stop the war. Up to now, I'm gonna tell you now, 50 people are already vote in our polls. Over 90, 70 percentage, they vote for war. So it means it's gonna be continued. This is your will to be continued. Yes, it's gonna be continued. We are in favor of continuing the war. And now just 6% they said, no, stop the war. I'm gonna just tell you and just make you up to date every maybe 10 minutes, okay? Thank you for joining us. Let's just start from Shahab. Shahab, if you can talk now, let's listen to you.
Hello, can you hear me right now?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it clear?
clearly. Go.
All right. So first of all, I want to thank you and I want to offer my condolences for what happened in the last couple of months. And I want to share my experience over here where I'm working in Canada. And all my colleagues asking me about my family and what's happening in Iran. I want to explain the situation for them. First of all, that surprised me. I don't know. I want to share this on with you. What is surprised me is the very first question is, what about the MENAP school? And they keep asking me about that. I think that's the effects of lefties propaganda. I guess so.
And that's
I
the
just want
main
to
question.
bring. I just want to bring it up for you, and maybe you can explain it better than me for the audiences. Sorry, that's the thing. I want to bring it up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shahab. Okay, we will just talk about it later. Don't worry. Omid, I want to say you're also welcome. Let's just go for Rauf. If you're ready now, we can start from you. Okay. Ralph,
Did you
can you hear
call
me?
my name?
Yes, I call you. If you're ready, you can
Okay,
talk.
such a surprise, such a surprise. You know, I won't be expected, you know, to attend to this event. But anyway, I'm totally agree. You know, the continuously war until the people settle down in Iran and establish new government. So I don't have anything more to add up. I'm 100% agree to continuously bombard all IRGC, all allies, everyone inside the government in Iran at the moment. So I'm totally agree. We should support them. Keep going on. There is no choice. It's a one way or either. That's it. We have to win. Otherwise, these people who's gonna left from these IRGC, they're gonna kill all people. You know how the people can manage to back to the normal. There is no way. So I'm totally agree. I'm quite busy, Keiko, so so I'm just doing
Yeah,
my
you can
start doing my
just come back
session, doing my
later.
stuff.
Yeah,
I try
yeah,
to hear.
yeah, yeah. No
Thank you very
problem.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome. You can also just come and join us later. It's no matter. So I would say with Dariush, if you can also just have the mic. Let's just listen to you.
Hi, Keiko. Thank you for this room. Very informative room. Hopefully, I can give some information about what's happening in Iran. Yeah, just and also say hello to everybody in this room as well. Just would like to give a brief history of Islamic regime. These Islamic suppressive mullahs, when they came to power in 1979, in the first year they occupied the American embassy and took hostages of 400 American civilian, and after that they started a war with America. They started killing U.S. Soldiers in Lebanon, and also help a militia in Iraq and killed a lot of American soldiers. Let alone what they did in Iran. They killed all a lot of general for the last regime, and without any fair trial. So there are savages, and fundamentalist government of people who are very religious and very dangerous people. Since then, 1979, they kill a lot of Iranian people whenever they started uprising. They killed us and suppress without any hesitation. Any peaceful uprising was suppressed and killed. And just want to give brief information about the last uprising which we had a couple of months ago, 8th and 9th of January, which they killed over 40,000 without any hesitation. Peaceful young people came to the street of Tehran and all over the country for just asking for a minimum security on food, on freedom, on safety, whatever. They had enough of this regime. They had enough of this regime, and what they had, they just got massacred. They took a lot of them. Even they didn't mercy their body. A lot of these young women were raped grouply, systematically, and that their womb was removed to not leave any evidence. These savages also brought Hashtush Shabi from Iraqi because they wanted to massacre, and they needed more force. And these savages, which created the 7th of October and killed a lot of innocent Jews for just having a music festival, more than 1,400 massacred them, and they don't. And basically, by Hamas. Who was actually supported by this barbaric regime, Hamas and Hezbollah. Uh, they also helped the Hamas to do the 7th October. And they are worse than ISIS and Hamas because they easily kill their own people. They don't have mercy for anyone. And if they were left alone, they will create a atomic bomb and will take hostages all everybody in the world. They don't want freedom for anyone. They just want to, have their regime and have a control on everybody. So just for the people who are supporting now this tyrant regime, for these lefties who doesn't understand, who ignore the massacre of 8th and 9th of January. Uh, Please open your eyes. Open your eyes and don't listen to just the lefties media. Listen to true story what's happening in Iran and understand what Iranian people going through. Please do that. Yeah, I think I had that. I said whatever I needed. Sorry, because I wasn't, perfect in saying whatever I needed to say. Thank you, Kay Khosrow, for this room again. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. You can even just call me over this room as K. I think it's easier for English language speakers. But thank you. Dorif, I have just one question before we continue with the other guys. What is your answer to the people who may ask you, what's wrong with you? They just bombarding now your military bases. There are maybe the infrastructure in Iran. What happened to your infrastructure? Are you not maybe worried about that? You're happy when you see that there come some huge B2s and they try to make a bombardment and they did something. I don't know. The military bases are already exploded on such a things. Do you have any answer to these people? If you have, let's just listen to you.
Yes, of course. I'm very, very, very happy that U.S. and Israeli decided to help Iranian people. I don't care about infrastructure or the even whatever as long as they don't kill innocent people, our people. Yeah, as long as it doesn't happen. Obviously, it happens like a school in Minab. Might be accident happens, but. I trust the U.S. and Israeli. They are very careful not to do collateral damage on our people. I'm very happy, and we are close to victory to get rid of this tyrant regime and have a free country after 47 years of tyranny and get rid of these savages. I'm very happy.
Thank you so much. So if you have a comment, yeah, just go on.
Yes, I have comment about this answer, this question. As you mentioned, I asked Kehosro, 47 years, what happened with that infrastructure in Iran? Iran's regime make money with that oil infrastructures and some of them, all of them, and sent money to Lebanon, sent money to Yemen, sent money to Hezbollah, sent money to Islamic Jihad. As you know, one of the commanders of Islamic Jihad who mentioned that one time when we come back from Iran to Lebanon, we ask money from uh, Qasem Soleimani, and he gave us $22 million and we bring it to Lebanon. This is one of the what happened in Iran's infrastructure. We are happy to this bombardment, even its infrastructure. We will make it even 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. We will make it. We are not worried about these infrastructures. Thank
Okay, thank you, Sohail. We will start with Omid. Thank you for accepting my invitations, and the same also for Mr. Mohammad Zari. Thank you that you also join us. Before we start, let me just give you guys a brief introductions about Omid. Omid is actually a Arab specialist. He's a kind of interpreter that always is mostly invited by the Arabic medias all over the region, and he can even just help us to find it out where we are standing now, even through this war. Omid, thank you for accepting my invitations.
Hello, Khosrow. Hello, everybody. Good evening, guys. First of all, I'm really happy to be here with you, my friends. And I was shocked. I was interesting that you started a room with English, totally English, and it's a good feeling for me, and I think also for audiences. And thank you very much for your introduction about me. I really appreciate it. Um, I just want to start with, let's say, following Sohail's remark. I should to say that I have information. That information was written in Oka's newspaper in Saudi Arabia, and it says that between 1982 to 2021, like 40 years for that 4 decades. The Islamic regime in Iran only paid for proxies in Middle East and their arms in Middle East, something like $40 billion. $40 billion. If we pay it for our infrastructures, for rebuild, for reconstruction, our infrastructures in Iran, right now, maybe we could have World Cup in Iran. We could have 10 of Khalifa Tower in Dubai. Maybe we could have more than 100 cities like Dubai. It's very beautiful city, full of tourism, and we earn money every year, like more than $50 billion just in tourism. But we couldn't. Why we couldn't? Because of Islamic regime in Iran, because hijab is ijbar. Hijab is forbidden. Hijab is mandatory. Hijab is something that you are obligated, if a tourist come to Iran, it's obligated to wear the hijab. Alcohol is forbidden, and blah blah, you know better than me. And about another topic, we have 53 Islamic countries in the Islamic world, and like more than 23 countries as the Arab world. No one talk about Palestine like the way that Iran talk about Palestine. Iran doesn't want to help to Palestinian groups, to Palestinian people. They just gave them money, weapon, and some logistic stops to them to like a benzene over the fire. They burn it more. They burn it Middle East more. And what we see right now in Middle East, it's like a result of what the Islamic Republic during past decades, 4 decades, did in that region. So for future, I have really hope for future, just because I know Iranian people. I know the history of the Iranian people, the Iranian culture, the Iranian literature, and it's a very, very fundamental fundamental issues for a country wants to have progress in future, like culture, literature, history, really, really rich history we have. And 47, unfortunately, we were in the big prison in Iran and 93 million prisoners. Not only prison, Evin, famous prisons like Evin or and others. And what's the only way we have? Very good cooperation with the US and Israel to arrive to that point. At the end of the day, we'll make a triangle, 3 countries, Iran, US, and Israel. And then we can have control to all Middle East countries, like what we had it before, the time of King of Iran, the time of Shah of Iran. And about the economy, we are closing to collapse because of the sanctions, because of the problems that we have in Iran. But at the end of the day, I have really hope, a big hope for future. We as Iranian people, we can change it. We can change it. We'll be able to do many things in Iran to rebuild our country. I want to mention 2 days ago, one of the supervisors in United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, we call it UNHCR, said that we expect that many of Iranian people after war ask to be a refugee, but there is even no one Iranian asked to be a refugee. And be sure we have another kind of transfer because we have 10 millions of diaspora outside Iran. And I promise you, after the war, after the Islamic regime in Iran, when they collapse completely, we will come back to Iran. We'll go back to Iran and we'll make Iran again great again. Making Iran great again is not only one hope. We will do that. Be sure. Thank you, Kekhosro. I really appreciate you. Tonight I'm really happy. As I told you, I was shocked when I see the atmosphere of your room and about because I was insulting to those people. For those son of the bitches that you see, like left parties and left way of thinking that they have. They are always against the humanity. They are always against the human rights. Human rights is only one joke. It's like one tool to use it. They don't care about the people. This is the structure of left parties. We should know them better. We know them in this time. Our Z generation, our people, they know them very well. They are just talking in Clubhouse and someplace else, but you better know better than me. It's not important. The Iranian people, they know their way, they know the holy way, and they will arrive to their destiny. It is a very beautiful destiny. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Omid. Before we continue with the other guys, let me just inform you about again our survey, our polls, which I put there inside the room. Up to now, just around 134 voters. We have a 96 percentage of the people, over 96, they said yes, please continue the war. Just 5% they said no, stop the war. And I also just forgot from the beginning of this room, please guys share your rooms with your friends. You can even just pin your friends to the same room that you always come. Put this file and let's just be seen here, right? I mean, the
Sorry,
one point that
Khosrow,
you
excuse
tell me.
me. Am I allowed to invite two of my very, very good friends? Maybe you all know them. Uh, Eli Kohanim and Len Kodrovsky. Am I allowed to invite
Just
them?
my pleasure, Omid. Well, this is not really a question.
I will
This
do
would be
my
a pleasure.
best. I will
Yes,
do my
yes,
best.
yes,
I
yes.
will do my
Okay, thank you. Before we continue, Omid said something which is super important. Let's just clarify for the people that they listen to us. What is our allegations now against these Gaza issues? Our comments is quite clear. Um, we know Hamas as a terrorist group, and we all have to accept that they are the terrorism. For sure, if you want to fight for your freedom, for your rights, you have the diplomacy, right? Our point is quite clear. If you even want to fight with the country, imagine that the Palestinian they want to get free. Okay, you want to fight with the Israeli, you should go and just fight with their military, not with the innocent people. It's quite clear. If on the 7th of October, let me just be frank with you guys. If on the 7th of October, this even the Hamas, they even just attacked to the military sites in Israel, maybe nowadays for me, I was not even just 100% on the side to say that let's just convict even the Hamas, you know? Because I said, okay, this is the fight. They're fighting the military sides. They're fighting to the military sides. This is exactly the same trend that this Islamic regime use nowadays in our countries. They are all with weapons, with the machines guns, massive guns. They come on the streets, and from another hand, we have just the poor people who are not. They don't even have any sticks, wood sticks. They come just for their freedom, and they just put the bullets. They just shot them. That's their behavior. And I always heard as a response, mostly from these leftist guys, this is super ridiculous. They said, okay, you say now everything's from the 7th of October. What happened before 7th of October? Let's just talk about 70 years that they were fine. Okay, if you're talking about the 70 years and you know on which position you are, you don't have I don't know, the powerful military, you don't have a super powerful basement, you cannot have I don't know, such a huge war, then you should fight for your rights over the diplomacy, over the politics. Not just put the guns into the terrorists and just send them to the music festival, right? To just genocide, to make a genocide. Our allegations against Israel is quite clear. But the thing is that maybe one thing is that most of these leftists, they don't really, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. They don't even know what's the meaning of jihad. What is actually the nature of jihad? When we're talking about these jihad issues, which is in the mind of each person's in Gaza Strip, most of them, let's say, let's say, okay, let's just don't say that all of the people are there in that way and the train of thought is the same. No, but mostly they believe in such a way to fight. They believe in just doing the massacre. And this is not our ways. This is clear. So this should not be for you a kind of miscomplicated areas that you said, okay, why these people are also keeping the flags of Israel? They're attacking to their countries and they have the flags. For sure we have. We stand together because we have one common goal, and this is this Islamic regime change. We don't want any version of these fucking murderers. They are all the fucking murderers who they're just trying to make genocides over the decades, either from the reformist side or from their so-called excessive side. For us, it doesn't. We don't give a damn. We know them really better than you guys that you stay out and you see from out. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe there would be a change when we go for this reformist or no. No, we know. We live with them. We are all Iranians. Most of the participants in this room, we are all Iranians now. Okay. So that's why this is the concept that we today try to hold these unique rooms in our, not in our mother language, to let you know what the true people, what the real people think at all. That you don't judge the Iranian people based on the fake news you take from some other canals that these reformists in US made. This regime side they made through different ways that they have a lot of monies, they have a lot of big powerful organization who give you a false face from our people. So this would be actually the first time, at least here in this area in Clubhouse, that we talk truly from behalf of our people and we share with you what we think. Now you see, now over my talking, we now the votes reach to 170. Again, the same result, 96% up to now. They say, yes, please continue the war. We are not crazy. We know we are standing. Nobody likes the war. This is quite clear. But we know what is our solution. What other solution there is for us to get rid of from these monsters. We know their nature, so that's why we stand by supporting these military actions, to be honest. Okay, Mr. Hamid, thank you for accepting my invitations. Mr. Separi, if you're ready now, I give you the mic.
Sure, thank you. And hello to everyone. And thanks for this great room for first time in this platform. I'm talking with my colleagues in English, but let's see. First, I agree with every single point everybody made prior to my turn. But I should say, I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. Number one, Islamic Republic and this basically ideology of Islamic Republic Before 1979 Islamic Revolution, what they did was completely against any human being standards and perspectives. They attacked and targeted government officials, military personnel, businesses seen as a symbol of the westernization, such as bars, clubs, cinemas, movie theaters, things like that. They killed few Americans in 1970s, which they were in a mission in Iran. And also everything was based on hate against the great Satan, which they called the United States of America. Then, since they got the power, they seized the power in Tehran in 1979. They took over the embassy. They kept 444 days the U.S. personnel for more than a year. And the first time in the history of mankind in a modern world, they took basically hostage the diplomatic personnel of another country, which is still, we haven't seen such a thing other than the Islamic Republic in any other country. Then they brought a war with Iraq for 8 years and almost with 1 million casualties against Iranians. And they made the entire region very unsafe. After the war was finished, they still plotted few other bombings from Lebanon to Saudi Arabia. They tried to kill Jews in Argentina, Argentina like in twice, one in Senegal, and one it was the Israel's embassy in Buenos Aires. So if this is not enough, still wait, don't stop counting, it's coming. After that, in Iraq, they made the proxies. They basically imposed their religious beliefs in Iraq after Saddam Hussein was removed from the power. And then they got involved in the Syrian civil war, which has another 500,000-600,000 casualties from that nation. And then they have their proxies such as Hamas, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, Houthis, in everywhere. Almost this cancer right now is metastasized to everywhere in the Middle East right now, as we see. Their first ideology was to demolish Israel completely and wipe off Israel from the map. They are publicly have been said about this. This is not something that we guess, or this is not what we have been concluded. They are publicly talking about it. They have bulletins in the main squares in Iran that it shows that Israel will not see the next 25 years. And even when they were testing missiles, they were writing in Hebrew on the missiles that Israel will be wiped off. So this is a completely a country, and another independent country has to live under this threat for years and years and years. Just put yourself in their side. Then few wars they have been started with Hezbollah, with Islamic Jihad, with terror proxies. And then in October 7, 2023, we faced another era of it, which they killed over 1,200 the Israeli nationals, and they took hostage for a few hundred of them. They killed another few of them during the hostage takeovers, and this was what they have done back in only to Israel. But when you come and see it in another angle, what they have done to the United States and the entire region is to make the entire region unsafe, unstable. They have brought wars here, there, and also, as you see right now, they are almost sending missiles from Turkey to Oman, which they're supposed to be their buddies, and also to other Persian Gulf states. So if this is not threat still, let me tell you another version of the threat. And if you are not still convinced that this terror, basically the biggest sponsor of the terror in the world, what's their capacity to do? Their first slogan, their first wish, their first thing that they want is to challenge the United States and to make the United States leave Middle East, to dominate the entire region, and then to go after others, such as in Europe, and conquer other basically continents or other places in the world. Basically, their ideology of the Islamic civilization, with all the respect to everyone, we don't see any other thing in Islamic civilization than terror, than basically a very radical version of Islam in this case. They have been trying to imply this to everywhere in the world. In this, coming back to today, they have been giving multiple choices. Multiple times they had the chance to go ahead and make a deal. They don't. The reason they don't want to do this because they can't act like a normal player in the region and the world. Their mission is to challenge the entire world. Their mission is to challenge the stability of the world, especially the region. And their entire mission is based on a hate and crime against humanity, which they have done it for 47 years against Iranian people. Back in a few months ago, 2 months ago almost, they killed, massacred more than tens of thousands of Iranians in the streets, which they were unarmed and they were civilians. All they wanted was, we want freedom and we wanted to have a normal life like any other country in the earth. What was the response? Bullets. What was the response? Killing them in a huge size, even stealing the bodies, injured bodies from the hospitals, and killing them, and massacred entire, basically the nation, and then arrest everyone who were supporting them, seize their belongings, and then not be able to even answer to anyone that why we are doing this. So the entire mission is to spread the word of hate and killings and the message for the jihad. And what these guys are very good and capable to do that. Now, my question to all these anti-war activists, with all the respect, what you supposed to do with the regime for 47 years are killing people? Imagine today, the superpower of the world, and Israel, one of the highest, basically one of the most powerful armies in the world. These two countries in the last 14 days, they have tried everything. They haven't been able to stop them completely. What about if these criminal mullahs, they have access to nuclear power? What about if they have access to weapon of mass destruction? Aren't you feeling that it's going to be very uncomfortable for you to sleep at night while in thousands of the kilometers or miles away, there are criminal mullahs, sick jihadis, that they have access to this kind of weapon and they have access to the missiles that their range can target your homeland, your home, your country, the city that you live in? If you're okay with that, then I'm sorry, you need to go to see a psychiatrist to evaluate your psychology stability and your mind for this. Because to be very honest, I live in the United States, in the west coast of the United States. Imagining of these mullahs, they have capacity for that type of a weapon, and the world is going to be silent. It makes me completely to have nightmare for my entire night. If it doesn't affect you like this, then I think we're living in a two parallel world. Thank you, Kei Khosrow. Thank you for giving me this time, and I'm done. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Sapari, before we continue with the other guys, let me just clarify also another point. You know, we are suffering from this Islamic regime over 47 years. And there is not just because of surfers that they always try to put a lot of people in jails, just give the headshots, just to put the bullets, and just try to, in some cases, to threaten the people to come on the streets. There were also another powerful basement they always had, and they still have it, although they were just almost done, but they still try to use them. And that's the fucking propaganda that they always try to misuse from the people's thought. We had, maybe that was the first day of war. I'm gonna give you guys an example. On the first day when the war started, that was I think 28th of February, right? February 28th, last 2 weeks. Unfortunately, there was there was a school where most of the children's, they were all girls, They were just studying, and at that time it came a missile, and unfortunately this school were shut down. And this regime claimed from the beginning that was the missile from the US. We all suffer. We all were deeply sorry that what happened to this innocent girl. But I gonna tell you, how do they misuse from such a propaganda? How do they want to take advantage of the situations? And especially, we're talking about now these democratic parts, the same in the US, that's such as the some broadcasters like CNN. Okay, they start to just keep focus on this school. Wow, 180 girls have passed away. Stop the war. They were the innocent people. Are you more worried about our countries and our people than us as the Iranians? Who the hell are you just to even try to judge the Iranian peoples that say, although we are deeply broken in heart, we insist that this war should be continued until the purpose, the final purpose is clear for us. Regime change in Iran is our wills, is our biggest wills. And we don't want to get back as long as this regime is there in any shape. It doesn't matter if they want to just to give us another form. Okay, now it comes these reformists, this asshole who just play with the people over the last 2 decades. No, no way. I gotta tell you this example because I saw that how this propaganda from the Islamic regime is so active, even in the U.S. and European countries, to just exaggerate what happened, just about 180 poor people, poor kids that have been passed away. But no one asked them who's going to care about this 180 girls that have been shot either by missiles. And for me, I don't give a shit when it was from that missile from that country or that was from this IRGC. The thing is that the tragedy is that these people are already passed away. The kids are passed away. But the biggest point is that they're trying to exaggerate, and the same organization, the same terrorists, they try to put their fingers on this issue. The same people who already massacred over 35,000 people within 2 days, they try to keep focused on these 180 girls who passed away on the first day of war. And let me just complete one other issue. Do you know where was this school? This school was in front of the military bases. Imagine these assholes, they built such a school in front of the military bases. And when it was shot, it was target, they try to use and just again the brain washes. That's always what they do. This fucking Islamic regime in our regions, they kill over thousands people, but when they want to misuse from the feelings, they try to give you a big picture from what's happening and just to issue, oh, okay, now it's a war, let's just stop it. But I'm gonna tell you, we are sure as Iranians, as long as this regime survives, more than thousands from these kids will be passed away within the different ways. Even this regime shot the kids less than, I would say, 15 years old children, for example, like Kian. You can even just type it in Google, you can Google it. And that was on the Matza protest. They shot the kids with his family when they were on the way, on the streets. They just put the machine gun and they didn't care. They just shot the kids, the childrens. And the same fucking assholes now they try to big head. And some people like Christian Amanpour in CNN or those broadcasters, those Democrat broadcasters, they just put the fingers on that. No one said that who's actually trying to give these issues more. These are not the same murderers who already killed over thousands Iranians. Did we really forget about it? That was just less than 1 month ago. What happened to us? These are the techniques that they still use, and they try to survive by by just washing the brains. So let me just start from Mr. Mohammad Zari. Thank you so much for accepting my invitations. Navid, if you're ready, I give the mic to you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
Can you
yes,
hear me?
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Thank you very much for setting up this wonderful room. I've been watching Clubhouse since few weeks ago. I noticed that there are lots of English speaking rooms about Iranian situation. But unfortunately, we as Iranian haven't had been doing such important matter, and I'm glad that we finally have this initial room for such important conversation. I'm Navid, and I'm based in London and been abroad for nearly 30 years now. This is a wonderful topic, and as most of the news in the world has been broadcast by leftists or other TV stations such as CNN, BBC, and the real Iranian voice haven't been reaching out many foreign people. Therefore, such conversation would be important, and I hope that the people hearing us now or they might hear in future just double think about the point that we are raising here. We, as many other dear friends mentioned, we've been starving under dictatorship for more than half a century. This is not a short time, dear friends. Half a century is a long enough time to reassess and analyze somewhere's situation. Every penny of Iranian money has been spent in other militias group in Palestine, in Gaza, in Lebanon, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, even all the way to South America and African country, except Iranian himself. If right now anyone contact any Iranian in Iran, you will find out that almost 2/3 of Iranians are starving from hungry. They cannot pay their bills. They cannot send their kids to school. While Iran is one of the most richest country with so many resources, apart of oil and gas. And in top of all of this economic and lifestyle situation that Iranian been suffering, the worst thing has been freedom of speech and political freedom. No any Iranian has been able or free to speak with any idea which goes against the regime's will. But unfortunately, none of these have been heard by other people in Western country or in American country, in Europe, in Australia. Why? Because we all follow news from journals, from newspapers, from TV. And unfortunately, 80% of journalists, TV station, they're all following left ideology. There are very few journalists who are patriotic or they are right side. And because of this matter, our voice have not been heard. We have been through so many issues, so many tortures, so many people been in jail that you cannot even imagine. Thousands of people being executed every year. Thousands of children being starving every year. And most recently, in 4 years ago, during Mahsa Revolution, women's rights freedom, up to thousands of people were shot dead. A young teenager girl were thrown out of 5-floor buildings. The girls were raped and then killed. The people were arrested, raped, and then killed, while people were not allowed even to mourn their griefs. And most recently, nearly 50,000 people have been massacred in just 2 nights. If this was happened in anywhere else, the whole world would go for demonstration. The whole world would go for protest every single day until the matter was sorted out. But unfortunately, we haven't seen any massive protest by these leftist people, this so-called freedom seeker. We haven't seen any of this. Of course, murdering people in Gaza is important as well. We are human. We all care about any sacrificing, any massacre, any abuse everywhere in the world. But where for one or two cases of abuse or murdering in Gaza, millions of people come out in European countries, in American. How can you justify that for 50,000 people massacred in a matter of 2 nights? Not even one protest was organized by those leftists. Where are these people who are seeking women's rights? Where are those people who are fighting entire their life for freedom? How can you justify this double standard? So that's why we want that people hear our real voice. If you want to find out the truth, try to call inside Iran randomly. Just ask a couple of people, although we haven't had the proper contact with inside more than nearly 4 or 5 months. Since the first war with Israel, there was telephone and internet cut off for nearly 2 months. And then again, a few weeks, we had very limited access to internet Iranian. And now it's been cut off again more than 3 weeks. If the internet was shut down in any European country, or even in Gaza, or in Lebanon, in Palestine, people will not keep quiet. But unfortunately, because this is kind of nationalist movement, leftist people don't allow us to even raise our voice. We've been protesting in London, in all other European countries, for nearly 2 months, every single weekend, both on Saturday and weekend. There have been a massive protest all over the European countries, America, Australia. There have been 14th of February, which in Munich, Toronto, Los Angeles, nearly 1 million people came out and they raised their voice. But no any leftist NGO or other organization managed one single protest in support of us. They know, not even mentioning that often these 40, 50,000 people been massacred. They don't even speak about nearly 500,000 people who are disabled or have had serious amputee or disabilities, other limitation that they, because of serious injuries that they sustained during this massacre of 8 and 9 January. So where are these people who are seeking freedom? Where are these journalists? Where are these politicians? Unfortunately, most of the Western politicians are leftists, and they are directly or indirectly supporting this dictator regime, because we all know that they are just talking nonsense. They are lying. They don't support Iranian voice. Here in UK, the government even disturbing our protest. They don't allow us to use any voice to be raised. They don't even allow us to protest simply. They cause so much limitation, so much restriction. So altogether, I want to thank you for this room, and we have to do this quite often, that other people at least hear us, because at the moment, the only way that they hear the news about the war is through those channels such as BBC and CNN and other newspaper. And I just want to let everyone know that luckily, the American and Israeli didn't bomb any residential place. They just very perfectly find those military bases, and they do it very well. And we are pleased about that, because even if you brought the whole war, this regime will put nuclear bomb on top of every person to stay in power. This has been proven to us, and we could not, unfortunately, get rid of this. Otherwise, you barely find any nation call for other countries to bomb your country to get free. This is enough to imagine how much we've been suffering and why we are begging someone to come and bomb us, because you cannot even imagine what we've been through. Every single Iranian have been suffered for nearly half a century. Dear friend, half a century, just bear in mind, this is not 1 or 2 days or 1 or 2, 3 years. Is my life, if I'm 56, is all gone. When I was 7 years old, this bloody revolution happened by the leftists. And now these leftists have become close friend, hands by hand, by dictator regime of Islamic regime. And the last thing I'd like to say, one of the worst things that we've been facing in contrast with all other dictatorship, usually dictatorship are ideologic only, but the problem with this bloody regime was that they were ideologic and fanatic religions, and that's what it make it worse. That's why they are easily killing millions of people, even needed even more, just to stay in power. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Before we continue, I see also now some few native speakers in our audience. I send them our invitations like Ted or Vanessa. I see a girl there is Vanessa who actually vote for stopping the war. And we really want to, we are also really curious, Vanessa, if you can, if you have mic, that would be really cool that you come. Oh, thank you for joining us, Vanessa. Because you see, on this room, we did it deliberately. We made our room in English language for the first time in Clubhouse. We are all Iranians. We are the Iranians community. Most of our families, they are now in Iran under bombardment. But as you see, over 246 votes up to now. And the result shows that 98% said, yes, please continue and help the war, and 3%, which probably you would be one of them, and you did a big help to this 3%. They said up to now, no, stop the war. Maybe you're shocked to see the results. So I'm really also curious to just hear about you. Thank you for joining us. Let's just keep going if you have.
Thank you for having me on your stage. And yes, sir. Peace to the room and everyone. Also host a room, and we've had a vote that has been going on for about 4 days now, consecutively. And we have had visits from many Iranians who have graced us and been a part of our stage and has enlightened us tremendously. And so I think my vote for I want it stopped is because the lump sum of it all, I want it all stopped. But when I came into the room, I get to hear your perspective. And that's what's important. That's why we have been inviting many Iranians to come to our stage. Tell us you're there. You have boots on the ground. And we only get to see the propaganda, even with the school that you just explained. That is truly in a limelight of on our news. And so we're hearing one side and not your side. And that's very important to us. And so thank you again. I may change my vote. And I think maybe I voted because I'm a girl.
No,
and
come
I'm
on.
and I simply don't want war for you or me. And I don't like the deaths, but I understand the politics and the things that have to be straightened out and the regime that needs to come down, and so that you can move forward and rebuild your country there, and that we can do the same here in the States. So that's my take. That's my reason. And I appreciate you inviting me to your stage.
No, I really appreciate that you join us because actually the main purpose that we try to hold such a rooms in native language, I mean the English language, is actually the same because we saw also a lot of propagandas and we just fuck up with what we listen behalf of our peoples. Maybe now you can get our points, right? I mean, everyone knows in principle that how bad could be a war, and no one wants in reality to see the war. But when you look at the realities that this regime does not want to go peacefully and they want to massacre the people if they stay, that's why we support now actually the military actions against our country. Do you also just make some political rooms here in Clubhouse, man?
The name of my room is the Pantheon of Gods, and we really get into the old studies of ancient gods and the like, but we also entertain the political, and especially now, we like to go with history and not propaganda, not things that were just narrative that has just been passed down to us. We want to know who was back then. What did they write? Who wrote it? Is this stuff really biblical, or is it propaganda? Is it just stuff passed down to us? We have controversial rooms that may go against the grain of the Bible, and we're not afraid of that. So that's why our room is called the Pantheon of Gods. And so I'm also in Amir's room just about every day. I love his room and I stand for the people. And so I'm in his room often and he treats me very well, very respectable. We talk in the back chat. And so I support you all, and I understand now. So if you'll give me a second, I think I'll change my vote. I even invited a person in. I said, get in here, you've got to listen to this, because we only get the propaganda. And so I will take this back to my room and share it with the many. We're up to 600 and some votes in our room. You have 259 here. We have 600 and some votes, and a lot of them are is kind of mixed votes. But we now get to hear from people that's in the land and that have family in the land, and we've embraced it all on our stage. We've had even the Zionists come in, and everybody is welcome and are allowed to speak on our stage, because we're not trying to be right. We just want truth. And coming in this room has opened my eyes to a lot, and I appreciate it.
I appreciate you too.
Okay, may I
Before we
say one
continue with the
short
people,
comment, please?
yes, please, Navi, just for a few seconds, I just wanted to say maybe also join your room in the future. I'm quite happy that you just made an introduction to your room. That's actually quite interesting. And to myself, actually, if even I can talk with one person like you just to transfer our messages, that's for me enough. You know, I don't have a lot of expectations from Clubhouse. Even if one person's from out can hear us, that would be for me a big chance and big achievement. So that's why, if you think that there are also some other friends who they can join our rooms at that time, feel free just to, I don't know, just to share this room with them. You know, this room is normally in Persian language, in our mother language, and this is one of the most beloved rooms in our Persian community in Clubhouse. You can also just follow over thousands people. Normally they take part in this room, but because today we just changed and shifted to the English, you see maybe it's not it's still up to 1,000, because a lot of people maybe don't feel comfortable with that, but quite fine for me. Just feel free that if you have also some other friends, they can also join us at this time when we continue the room. Yes, please, Mr. Navid, if you want to
Yeah,
say.
just very briefly, Vanessa, I just want to tell you thank you very much for your participation. Trust me, you won't find even one person in Iran who, under normal circumstances, likes war. Trust me, no one here, even in this room, likes war. But as Kay mentioned, we have no other choice. That's the only option is left to us by this dictator, unfortunately. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a comment.
Yes, go on, Soel.
Mr. Vanessa, I'm very happy to have you here, and also I'm very happy you update your vote after hear our speech here. And a big sentence, an important sentence, I'm going to mention it. There is big difference between Iran and Islamic Republic. We are Iranian, and we are fighting against the fucking Islamic Republic. Thank you.
Thank you. So, keep going with Amir. Amir, go
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Wait,
Hi.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I just want to say first, thank you so much, Keith Khosrow, for having this meeting and this room. It's very important for us to give the real voice of Iran people inside the country what they need against the main propaganda that the lefty media is trying to say. The first thing that I want to say to Mrs. Vanessa, that what exactly happened on that meetup school exactly, because everywhere they talk, I'm telling to you 100% lie about what exactly happened over there. I just want to tell you what was the situation and what exactly happened on that school. And I just want you to please, when you open your rooms or you discuss in other stages, please mention this exactly what happens. If I want to tell you exactly on the first day of the war, what happens, to brief you, the America and Israel attack started at 9 a.m. on local time in Iran. Okay, and the school was in the south of Iran. The attack they start on the school was 5 hours after the beginning of the war. Okay, and the most important thing, the school was part of the army base, which was in Mina. The family of the people, family of the kids who study in the school, ask for their kids to take them back from the school, but unfortunately the school didn't accept this. They said nothing gonna happen, and at the end what exactly happened was they attacked the base, and also that base was consent of that school. So this is what exactly happened. They have time to evacuate the school, and they shouldn't even make that school in that location inside the army base, but they did it. And it's been 14 days. All the lefty medias are talking about the deaths, but they are not talking about who was really responsible for that kids who died over there. It wasn't American missiles, it was the Islamic Republic. That, now the war is happening, there is no shelter in our country. They didn't make any shelter for our people. When anything happens, there is no shelter. And also, even there is no alarm, okay? But people in my country are happy. If I have a Telegram channel that I posted all the videos, the internet is also shut down for 200 hours. And this is one of the biggest problem we have right now in Iran, because the people of my country cannot give their real voice to you. Okay, they cannot say what exactly they have the feeling. And also the lefty medias are censoring the exact thing that happening over there. For example, they bring one CNN press over there, and that guy is showing exactly opposite what exactly happening in my country. Whatever is happening over there, uh, they are showing completely opposite. Nowadays the videos that people are taking inside my country about the war and the things that happening, all of them are happy, because they are 100% sure that they are attacking only the government bases, only the army bases, and the police stations, which they are responsible for massacre more than 30 to 40,000 people in 2 days. Now it's around how can I say, 14 days that this war started, and during these 14 days, only 2,000 killed. But in 2 days, this government killed from his own people around 30 to 40,000 people. So this is what exactly, Kay Khosrow, I want to say to you this again. Thank you so much for make this room again, and please continue for this, because we need it to give our voice. Okay, because 3 days ago I was in one room, and there was some people, African Americans, just like Vanessa, and some Indian Americans, many different people who were coming from different countries and living in the US, and they were talking about something that it wasn't happening really in my country, and their mind was completely brainwashed. And when we start to talk about the reality, they couldn't understand. They couldn't uh, understand what is real and what is not. So thank you for this room, and please do it every week. At least we need to do it 2 3 times a week, so other people can come and come to hear what we are saying from the inside of this country. Because the media, unfortunately that country closed the borders and only give the media to the leftists, and there is no open media and real media, because that country is not democratic. And this is why we ask for this war. This is why we ask for the help from US. The people, more than 1 million people in different cities in whole world, get out and shout that we don't want this regime, we don't like this regime, we want them to go, and US, please help us for that. This is what exactly happened. We ask for this help, and as we see what is happening in the media is showing completely something else. And this is the main thing that I want to talk about it. And thank you so much, and I will give the mic to our dear friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amir. Once more, for the guys that join us now, I think for the native speaker, it's really hard to announce our true names. K Khosrow is my name, so let me just, guys, please call me K. K is enough now for this room. I'm K, Vanessa. Feel free just to call me also the same. So the point that the Amir was just talking about is really what's we also saw, and that's one of the basement why we try to hold this room here in Clubhouse. And another things, Vanessa, maybe I don't know, Vanessa, Prince Reza Pahlavi. Have you ever heard about him?
Say the name one more time, and I
Prince
apologize.
Reza Pahlavi. He's actually the opposition now for this Islamic regime.
No, I don't. This is news to me. I love to learn. I apologize. While Amir was speaking, I lost connection. We have very high winds in my area, so I'm in and out of.
Yeah, cool. The oppositions for this regime, the leader of oppositions is Prince Reza Pahlavi now. And he actually called for demonstrations inside Iran on 8th and 9th of January. And behalf of his calls, the people on the street, they came on the streets in Iran, over a million of people all over Iran. They came on the streets, and within 2 days, they did the massacre. They shut down the internet. They killed over 35,000 people just over 2 days. Imagine that. And over all the videos that we took from Iran, most of the peoples at that night, 8th and 9th of the January, they were chanting for him, this Prince Reza Pahlavi. The Reza Pahlavi is actually the son of the last Shah, the last king, and he is the super democrat guys that try to lead the new, just the transitions period for us, just the transition. He has a clear program what's going to happen if we have a regime change, how can we just have a free votes, and how the people can even choose their system. But imagine these leftists, these people that they want to even just look for any ways to get back to the regime by this their reformed side, let's say. They always try to even convict him and just say, hey, you say you are the leader of transition. Who said that you are the leader of transition? Maybe just a lot of people call you, but not all of the people call you. But the truth is that actually the majority of the people nowadays, they call him. And I can guarantee if somebody can just give us for sure the democratic system in the future, that's this guy. Than any other Republican or those other peoples that they call themselves the democratic proponents who just came out with their mottos. Because this guy is the same person who even just fight in exile for over 47 years of his time out, just always said the same systematic way, how can we reach to democracy? Imagine. That's why maybe for sure Christian Amanpour, right? That's why we really cannot bear if somebody like Christian Amanpour comes and just talk about Prince Reza Pahlavi in that way, or just call again for the regime solution inside the solution, or maybe there would be some reform inside the regime. That's the point. But anyway, I'm super happy that we have more native guys even inside the audience. I can just see now the some other guys who they already joined us. Let's keep going with Daniel, if you have no
Can I
mic.
make a
Yeah,
quick
yeah, you
point?
gave your comment, sure, and then we
Yeah.
go to Daniel. Go on.
Thank you, Kay. Yeah, it's very important, Vanessa, hear this. Vanessa, this barbaric regime, Mullah, yeah, they're supporting the most dangerous and ruthless militia over all the world. I think you have heard Boko Haram in Nigeria. They are very ruthless militia who kill ruthlessly young people and everybody else. They pay a lot of money for them to attack Christian and other people and force them to convert to Islam. Their grand mission is to convert everybody to Islam, either with force, either with corruption and paying money. So just wanted to let you know how dangerous are these people. They are connected to cartel in Mexico. They smuggle women, they smuggle drugs, everything, money laundering. These kind of savages spend over £2 trillion of our money for our children who are hungry in our country, to make an atomic bomb, which they never did. They never could have. And now, because of that, we suffered 47 years of sanction. So imagine how badly we suffered from these mullahs. So just wanted to let you know this information. Yeah, thank you very
Yeah,
much. Thank you,
thank you,
Kate.
Darius. Yeah, thank you. Up to now, guys, there is already 285 voters. Over 98% say yes, please keep going the war and help the Iranians, and just 2 to 3% say no, stop the war. That's now up to now the results. Is quite interesting that we have such a survey by us. Let's go for Daniel. Daniel, you have no mic. Can you now talk?
Hi, Kay Khosrow and everyone. Thank you for running this great room. We really need it, as Amir and other folks here said. We really need rooms like this, especially in English, so other people around the world, especially English-speaking people, know better what's going on. And I just wanted to thank Vanessa. Vanessa, you have a beautiful soul, and I'm not a politician. I don't know politics. I'm just a normal citizen, Iranian American, and that was beautiful because unfortunately, some people have sold their souls to the devil. They are set up to not understand what's happening. Even they see it, even they know it, they don't want to understand. They don't want to wake up. We have a saying in Farsi, maybe it's in all languages, that we say, if someone's asleep, you can wake him or her up, but if someone pretends to sleep, you cannot wake him up. So, and so many, unfortunately, so many people are like that. I was in a room a few days ago, last week. It was an English room. I think some people from um, inside America were running the room. I was there. I was explaining what was happening inside the country, and but they were like so rude to me. They started like cursing, saying like MF words to me, and they don't care. These people, they were killing themselves for what was going on. These like free Palestine people, so they were killing themselves for Palestine, for Gaza. But when it comes to Iran, it's really interesting. They don't care at all. 40, 50,000 people were uh, killed in just 2 days. It's 2 days, but actually it was, I don't know, 8 or maybe 10 hours they were killed, and they don't give a shit about it. But when it comes to other things, uh, they're like so supportive for that. So Yeah, these people have sold their souls. We have so many of them in Iran. They are called Islah Talab or reformists. And there are so many of them, these communist Islamist people all over the world, in America or in Europe. So, and this is really, really disgusting how, like, they care about some people. We're all human beings. They care a lot if those people are killed or die in like Palestine or Gaza, but they don't care at all about the Iranian people. But I'm so happy and I thank God that even they support us or not, God has come to rescue us. America has come, Israel has come to rescue us, and by the grace of God, in uh, a near future, I don't know, maybe in few days, the people of Iran are going to finish the job, having their country back, and we're going. I promise you here that we're going to be the greatest friend of America and Israel, and it's so exciting, and we're going to have a better world in few days. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, guys. I'm listening.
May I,
Okay, thanks.
may I ask
Yeah,
a question?
yeah.
Okay, I would like to know. I'm hearing the different subscriptions here, but there was a threat to the United States from Iran. Is that propaganda as well?
No, that was from the Islamic regime, but not from the people. That's why we should
Okay, that's
always
why I need
separate.
to understand. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. The point is that we are suffering from this fucking regime over 47 years. Vanessa, we had a regime change for about 47 years ago. Once that was the Shah, that was the king of Iran, and they made a plot. They put him away. That has a long story. I don't want to really just to break your mind now, but. The choice for the Iranians, they were always just looking for a solution to find at least free air, you know. So this regime always tried to put between wars and bad the choice for the people every 4 years, a president who were already chosen by their own system. And the people were trying, okay, maybe this guy would be a little bit better than the previous one. Nothing changed. These reformists, they were actually helping this regime to stay at the power, you know. And then the people decided that was about, let's say, I'm now talking about the majority, okay? Because even after these 47 years at the beginning of this Islamic regime, there were a lot of protests, you know. But let's just talk about the majority. Just about 20 years ago, the people decided, okay, now it's enough for us to choose between bad and worse. We want a regime change. And they came on the streets. They were shot by this regime. They just always try to put a lot of people in jails and just to suppress all the protests until the previous massive protest that was about 8th and 9th of January, where the son of the Shah, the last king, who's in exile since that time in US. He called the people come on the streets to have a regime change. And the people answered to him. They came, over a million of people. They came on the streets on these 2 days, over the streets of Iran, all over the cities, and they did a massacre. As we said, the evidence showed at least 35,000 people just within 2 days have been genocide there, you know. And that's why nowadays this regime always try to threaten US, threaten Israel, that you both should be eliminated from the. We should, for example, obliterate Israel from the map of the world. That was always their chance. um, Thereby they wanted to survive because their own people, they didn't want them to, you know. They were always looking for an enemy, thereby they could survive, you know. They always try. And these atomic issues, They start just doing the enrichment, uranium enrichment. They all said in public, okay, this is for the peaceful purposes, but everyone knows that they wanted to reach to the atomic bomb, you know. They always wanted to threaten and that thereby they could survive. And nowadays, the situation for them has already changed. You see that the U.S. came in the hands of Israel, and the people wants to return back to the streets after that massacre. So this Prince Reza Pahlavi, he said, for now, let's just keep inside the streets. Sorry, inside the houses. Let's just keep in houses. Don't come out. Now it's too dangerous. Just wait for my next chance. You know. This is now our current situation. So that's why we are to be honest, we are now really happy to see that these guys, this military, who were just killing the innocent peoples, the unarmed people on the streets, they're being shot by the Israeli drones or US. We are so happy that we see such a thing now, you know. Okay, let's just get back to Cello. I don't know whether I can pronounce your name true. Mrs. Money, if you have mic, keep going.
Hi, everyone. It was nice to be here. And already everybody mentioned the important information, I think. But besides everything that we discuss here, I think it was also important to mention people that went to mass protests outside of Iran, like in Berlin, but I'm sorry, in Munich, but also it was in Toronto and also other cities in all over the world. Yeah, also the the mass media never covered that, and kind of Iranian voices was silent again by that. I mean, yeah, that was all I wanted to mention.
Thank you so much. Mrs. Seperi, you wanted to have a comment, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and hello to everyone else joining us in this panel. Um, one thing that I would like everyone to know, we Iranians, or at least people here, we talk. None of us, we are pro-war. We don't want war. The war has been implanted to us by Islamic Republic, Islamic regime. We're looking for a peace. However, this is not just a peace to keep some criminals on the power, and they can do everything they want with the lives of 90 million Iranians plus, anyone else in the region and the world. Also, just one thing I forgot in my first session to remind: Islamic Republic have been spending tremendous amount of the revenue of the country. It's very difficult to give you a clear number, but because a part of the Iran's economy is because of the sanctions that it has been basically the wish for mullahs. Because of those sanctions, part of their country's revenue is not written in any books. So that's why a huge amount of money, approximately between 25 to 35% of the revenue of the country, has been spent for making the military bases and also making these missiles and drones. And that's why it seems that it's not finishing. So right now, with if the United States and Israel, they stop the war, um, the way these our lovely anti-war people they see, then it's going to be a basically rain like it's going to be like an empty check. It's going to be a white check in for mullahs, a free check for mullahs to develop more weapons and then take the Strait of Hormuz and also the energy to take the energy crisis as their advantage in order to imply their hate policies against the West, and they try to defeat the United States. So the entire regime's policy is based on what they can do in order to challenge the stability in the world, which it has been established after the Second World War, and try to weaken the United States and wipe off Israel from the map first, and then weaken the United States and Europe. And then they can easily try to impact everywhere they want. Having said that, there will be one other element that I should add. Islamic Republic, other than spending a huge amount of the country's revenue in the weapons, in the missiles and drones, one other thing they do is they are very large in, when it comes to spending for their propaganda in the West. So hiring the lobby groups and unofficial lobbies such as NIAC in the United States, and hiring few lawyers here there as a human advocates and also as the journalists, and asking them to write those that things that they wanted to the West to know about it. That's another thing. Like they are everywhere. They are from New York Times of Farnas Fasihi. You go to CNN to Christian Amanpour, Charlie Rose in ABC. So basically, the list is so long, and they have a lot of people that working for the interest of the Islamic Republic. However, nobody has the guts to say who they are. For instance, I support the monarchy, constitutional monarchy in Iran, and my name is known, and I don't have any problem of pointing out my view. But these people, most of them, they look like ordinary Iranians. When they talk to them, when you talk to them, they will say, "Oh, you know what? We don't agree with the mullahs. The mullahs are criminals. They are not good. They are bad. There's all these things that you're saying about them is true. However, we are against any military actions against them. We are even against the sanctions against them. They everything's supposed to go through any very civilized system in order to defeat the mullahs and have a democratic society." In the words and on the textbooks, it looks good. It looks awesome. Who else would say no to this? But when it comes to the reality, these guys and these propagandists, these apologists, I should say, they are all try to paint and uh, show a civilized kind of a version of the Islamic Republic to the world, and they try to just to scare everyone with the conflicts of the war and all those kind of stuff, and the consequences that any war or any military actions can imply. But the reality is, in order to get rid of the Islamic Republic, in the last 47 years, our nation have tried every single way you can imagine, every single non-violent way you can imagine. We didn't get anything other than the bullets killed thousands and thousands and thousands of civilians in Iran. The last option, which is the bloody one, and it's a difficult one, it's a hard one, is the military action against the Islamic Republic. As well as anyone in Iran I have been spoken to in the last few days, not only they are not worried about this. As a matter of fact, the only thing that it makes them scared is, would you please make sure the elected officials in the West, especially in the United States of America, do not stop this. Finish the job. Finish the job and finish the targets until we can be able to form our own democratic society. Thank you, Keith Khosrow.
You're welcome, my pleasure. Before we continue, I just want to give you all guys up to date to our spool. Up to now, just about 300 people already took part. Over 99 percentage, how should I say? Let's just say then 98% they said yes. Please keep continue the war and help the Iranians. 2% said no, stop the war. Interesting. The things about maybe to your infos, Vanessa, about this organization that Mr. Separi talked about that. The NIAC is the abbreviation for National Iranian American Council. And that's really super ridiculous. This organization is completely supported by Islamic regime in Iran, okay, over the decades, and from the reformist side. Imagine, and they are super active in US. they try to spread and always the fake propagandas. For example, they made such a pool that we made here, but instead of the free peoples to choose, they made this such a pool among their own people. What about, let's say, about 1,000 people, as they say? At least 500 of these peoples, they were from their own
Who
sides.
are they?
In
Kehos, who are they? Nayak.
Nyack, yes,
Nayak,
I'm just
okay.
talking about Nyack's
Yeah,
concert,
yeah.
exactly. And they said that, okay, this survey that they already published in US, they made it before the 12 days war between Iran and Israel, because we had also another war before starting this war that was around 1 year ago. And they said over 58 percentage of Iranians, they are anti-war. They don't want war. They want to stop the war, you know? And thereby they try to wash the brains, you know? That's the ways, the techniques they always use. And they are super active, super
Listen, don't worry
powerful.
about them. They are feeded and funded by Islamic Republic regime. What do you expect it? Of course, they want to support in Islamic Republic. They are same enemy.
Yeah.
We are on the battlefield now. We don't need that much explanation. We already on the battlefield, the right side of the board against the evil. That's
Rauf,
it.
my
Simple
brother,
as that.
we are explaining the situation for Vanessa because she
Yeah, yeah,
don't know
I know,
any
Vanessa.
idea
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
of course, of
Yeah,
course.
the reason we are talking about it because they don't know any idea about this. And
Where's she from? How are you, Vanessa? Are you all right?
Hello, I am well. I,
Yeah, where you from, love?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio, United States. All right, cool,
It's
cool.
really
Nice
funny
one.
because someone dropped a link in my room, in my clubhouse, in my room, and it
Yeah,
said Ohio, and that's what attracted me to the room was the word
nice one.
Ohio.
Yeah,
So that's
you are most welcome, love. You are most welcome. So
I appreciate it.
we expecting people don't need that much explanation about these evil governments, you know, the Islamic
Yeah,
Republic
but our
regime.
people,
It's
around
so it's
yeah.
no in the no all over the world. There's so enough, you know, there is people that need to get rid of this
Yeah,
regime
but
as soon as
wait,
possible. I mean
wait,
the world need
yeah,
to get.
yeah, wait a minute.
Imagine
Yeah,
I
you just
Imagine
understand.
one argument, the one argument, Vanessa, is argument. Just listen to that. How funny is that? They want wiped out one nation, wiped out. They don't shy to tell on the TV, the broadcasting all over the world. Simple as that. The nation of the Jew need to wiped out. That's a clear message from from the Iranian government. So for simple reason of that, we need to get rid of these brutal regime. So, but you're most welcome. Thank you very much. I hope you can amplify our voice to the nation of the United States, and just keep supporting Iranian people. We will get back to you, and then we will pay back 100%.
I absolutely plan to immediately, actually, because this has really, and I actually have to confess my ignorance and do better due diligence when I do research because there was a very kind Iranian that come in the room. Iranian, let me say it the way you say it. I want to Iranian, right? Because I was saying Iranian. So how do you say
Yeah,
it?
that's Iranian.
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 Yeah,
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 that's Iranian. Yeah, it's difficult to pronounce it. I know I and R and A is
yeah.
also
It's
Yeah,
a little
okay.
bit
Quite fine.
difficult.
Come.
Or you can say Iran.
I okay. Well, a gentleman came to the
We are
room.
Iranian made by Iran.
Oh, got it. Got it. I'll try to make sure I do it right. Well, a gentleman came to the room and he said, "Well, Vanessa, what do you think?" And I ignorantly just had to be honest. I told him, I had this one concept of what your people thought and believed, um, and I had no idea that there was other groups in your country that believed differently than the regime. And so my ignorance, and I have to do a better study, and this has opened my eyes too much. And to see that you want peace, that's not how I saw it prior. So thank you, honestly. And everybody that's really shed light and given understanding. You have peaceful hearts like myself. And I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you too. Thank you too to listening to us. Thank you very much.
Ralph,
I hope
interesting
you
things.
amplified our voice to the audience.
Yeah, yeah. You left the room for a few seconds. There between Vanessa was actually she voted first for stop the war, you know, and then I sent her invitations to come up, and then she said I didn't know actually that that's your thoughts. I mean the Iranians, and she changed her votes. You know, and that's what I said. For me, as a broom maker here, as a founder of this room, it's already enough. You know, I did what I could. Even if I can change one mind, I can just transfer our voices to the people out. For me, it's quite fine. I did already my job. But thank you so much. We keep going with Siamak. Siamak, if you have mic, just keep going.
Yes, yes. So, hello everybody. Thank you, Kay Khosrow, for set up these English rooms. But I think you explanation everything here, and I don't want to explain again. But I want to tell something to Vanessa to maybe transfer or to another peoples who is maybe they didn't know about reality and situation in Iran. But as you know, that most of the media in Europe or in America, they are orientated of the left side. But therefore, we have not the chance to explain or explaining the reality situation and what real the Iranian people they wanted. Therefore, it is better that in the future make a joint rooms here with the K, and maybe we come to your rooms and explain about the situations. And for that, what all of my friends here explained, there is document, there is videos, especially Amir is very active, and with all of the limited of internet in Iran, he has a very good channel and update and inform the people about the situation. Therefore, for everything what the colleague they said and they tell and try to explain to you, there is document, report, and also videos. Then, if the necessary, we can also to give availability to another people. Thank you, joined us, and we will hope that we hearing you again.
Yeah, for sure. As she said, Vanessa had also some rooms in Clubhouse. So for sure, we will be in touch. I also sent now the friendships request, Vanessa, and then we can be friends. And whenever you have such a rooms, and if the peoples are interested in such issues, because as you said, basically I understood that you're more into the religious rooms where the people they have more or they're more open into that subjects. But if you think that there between the people wants to also just have some news from the politics or even what's around about Iran, then feel free just to just write me and then I also invite the peoples to your rooms. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
come.
yeah, you got some.
Yes, I was just agreeing with you. Will do. I've added you back. I have the pink ticket, but I did join the room. So when I leave and come back, the ticket will be gone. But yes, I will definitely be inviting you and following your room to make sure that I'm a part.
Thank you. Before we continue, we see some of our well-known activists. I mean, the political activists like Ryan. He already just said in chat why he couldn't join us. Maybe he's a little bit shy. Let's
I
say.
sent
I
invitation for him, but unfortunately,
yes,
not.
yes, yes. Mr. Ryan is always shy. You know, he's a shy guy. What?
I have a short comment. Is it possible?
Go on, go on.
Mrs. Vanessa, welcome again to our stage. Imagine the Islamic Republic. Yes, imagine Islamic Republic like a factory. 47 years, a factory. What's the product of this factory? Terrorism, ideology, sent fear to region, sent money to Yemen, sent money to Lebanon, sent money to Iraq. For what? For terrorism, for fear. And since 1979, a shadow fell over my country for 74 years. The regime in Iran has held a beautiful nation hostages. They didn't build. They destroyed it. They took a rich culture in 1979 from Shah and replaced it fear. Since 1979, they had stolen the wealth of our land to fund wars and oppression. They have filled our prisons with thinkers, students, and innocent people. Right now, 100,000 people from 2 months ago, right now in prisons, and they executed every Wednesday morning with Azan. And we are going to fighting with this fucking Islamic regime. That's why, please mention your rooms about this important issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. So I also see Hamid. He is also actually also our favorite singer, Hamid Talebzadeh. If you can also join us, Hamid, please feel free because we need the guys like you. That I can imagine that Hamid is also in US and can give us some informations about even just the demonstrations that happening nowadays. Every day, is the Iranians since January, they try to gather in US, in Europe, over the streets to support their own family, their own people inside the country. I hope that these supports would be also responded in somehow from other parties that they're working inside any systems in Europe or US, because I myself, I'm quite disappointed from these leftist parties, and that's why the title I chose for today is just for these leftists, because I live actually, Vanessa, the people that they hear me now, I live in Germany. I live in Germany and see what happened in Gaza. I see always once a month at least there is some gathering for supporting the Palestinian people. There are a lot of even the Germans people who they use this scarf as a signs or symbols of Gaza and Palestinians. They come on the streets, they chant for Palestinians, but in reality, they don't even chant for the people, but they chant for this terrorism, Hamas. Hamas. They don't have any idea over which people they are talking about at all, over which terrorist group they are even just talk about. You know, they were all wash brain. They just saw the propagandas who they're coming out from such a broadcasters like Democrats or I don't know whatever, and they think that okay, because we see that in Gaza there were already a lot of innocent civilians have been passed away, we should support Hamas. And they don't really recognize that this Hamas is actually the truth and the basement of such a tragedy that happened after that. You know, the point is that if we truly look at the roots from which point such a things already started, then we came across, okay, if we really once for all get rid of such a tragedy in our regions in Middle East, we have to find the basic, we have to find the roots, and we have to cut it. And for now, as Iranians, we know the roots. The roots is this Islamic regime far away from the peoples of Iran. And let's just talk about another issue. If we go for closing, I don't know if you guys have some other points, but before we try to summarize our today's room, I want to also just talk about what's happening now in our country. From one hand, you know, the US, Israel, they already conquered, they already destroyed the navies, they already destroyed the military basements, and now they're going to kill and just target the same police or the moral police or the militaries who came on the streets on the January and shot down the people, the innocent people. And that's really, for us, we all know that we are really just, we enjoy when we see such a things, you know. But the thing is that, what's the reaction of this regime? They are really like they are really cowards. They are really cowards. They try to pretend that there are still some people that they support us. They organize their own people. When I say their own people, I'm not talking about the people of Iran at all. You can see that even less than 5% of these people are already on the streets. When we say the less than 5% of the Iranians, we're talking about just about maybe 1 to 2 million maximum, the whole people that they have. I would say that this is always even less than 1 million, but let's just talk about 5%. Okay? The people's now the population in Iran is over 85 million people, you know. And if you try to compare, how do they try to use this propaganda? They organize, they put the supports, they give even, they do everything to bring hundreds bunch of their own people on the streets to show this is our people, this is the people of Iran. And we all know that who are the people of Iran. We can even show them again when the Prince Reza Pahlavi once more called the people to come out on the streets. And then some peoples like Christian Amanpour and the peoples that, I mean, these Democrats who they try to wash the brains, they would also see. I know that such broadcasters like BBC, BBC World, BBC Persian, they're always trying to find a regime solution. They're always looking for the reformists, so-called reformists. We have no reformists inside this regime. We all know it. You know, they always try to put the way on the news that does not have anything to do with the reality now in the battlefield, like this Minab schools, like talking about war is bad, like talking about okay, what's gonna happen on the oil. The funny thing is that we are also watching at the same times their rooms. Every times that they gather together, we also from here, we also just watch them. Now, one of their biggest hope is just to shut down the oil sailing, with the hope that if the price of oil would rise up, then the U.S. would also go back. But I think that the U.S. would not leave the Iranians people alone, as the President Trump already promised us that the support is coming. We already saw that they are really supporting the Iranians, and we are happy and we welcome them. Let's just be honest. Although we know that these basements or a lot of things that were bombarded in some ways, there were explosions in our countries. This is in the normal situation that was not at all in any wills of Iranians. We care about our countries. We love our countries. We are the patriots. We know that. The Iranians are one of the most patriots peoples around the world. You should not underestimate what I say now. The things like the unity of the Iran is for us super important. And when it's in danger, every people of Iranians, they're all worried. That's why most of us, even abroad, from the times that such a things happen, we cannot even sleep good, you know. We always try to watch the news. We cannot even keep focus on our works. We always keep tracking on everything because our hearts actually beats for Iran. That's for sure. And imagine the same people who they truly love their country, they welcome such a B-2s that were sent from U.S. military. You know, that's the point. You should really understand us. This is not so complicated to understand that the people who were not armed, who had no weapon, and they saw already the cruelty, the brutality of this regime, they ask for help, and they just think everything's logically. They don't want any deal with this fucking regime at any price, and we are paying price, right? Our families are paying the price. Our families are paying the price. We are paying the price. But even all of us, which are most of us, maybe we are now exiling somehow, you know, from our countries because of this fucking regime. Mostly, we know that all. We could not leave for any reason, and we should have left our countries. So we came here. We are all suffering over the years, even when we are in Western countries. But the thing is that we already accepted the prices and we are paying the price, but for one goal. The goal is clear: regime change in Iran. We don't really want any other things less than this. And then we will make it up. We know we chose our transitions leader. Our transition leader is Prince Reza Pahlavi. That's not what I say, you say, a lot of people, even in abroad, say. No, just listen to the videos that came out from Iran. Just take a look at what they were chanting on the streets on the same 8th and 9th of January when they massacred the people on the streets. They were all chanting for the Prince Reza Pahlavi. He is the leader of Iran now, at this time, leader of transition. We all trust him. If somebody can bring the democracy in Iran, he is the only one, I would say for sure. And I think most of the people here in this room, they all agree with me. So anyway,
Uh,
I
I,
will
w-
get back to the comments. Yes, Siam, I agree with you.
I want to say something very short. We try to clarify it here. For us, is that's not a war, but also that is a military attack against the regimes. And this war is not with Iran, not with Iranian people. Of course, it's clarified that it is clear that this regime has fans, very small percentage, and he has a money. He has a correspondent in outside Iran, and he has the internet for his correspondent inside the Iran and also outside the Iran. But for us, is this is the people of Iran? They said that the military attack against these dictator regimes. That should be clear between war, what the links orientated parties in Europe, so that in America, they try to explain the peoples that is the war and that is the against the human right and etc. etc. That should be clear between war and military attack in Iran.
Okay, Khosrow, I just want to mention something.
Yeah, keep going, please.
Yeah, Vanessa, I just want to tell you something. Our people are very kind people. For 45 years, they try to give vote to different parties of reformists, but they didn't do anything for us. Every time the people vote and try to make it peacefully, they cheat us. They cheat a big nation with 3,300 years of history. Each time they cheat our people, and each time they kill more and more and more of our people. The other thing is, after this, our people try to give their vote to King Reza Pahlavi to start the transition for us, to change this regime. I just want to tell you, even before this war happened, we have, as an Iranian in our territory, more than 11% of whole world natural resources. But what is happening for us, we have the cheapest currency in the whole world. This is exactly because of this brutal regime using our infrastructure, our money, and our natural resources only for their weaponizing jihadi people. And they didn't even care about their nation and their people. And today we ask for this help because we need the change. We are not what they are showing from our people in the media. We are a great country with peaceful people, and we want to make good relationship with all the world. We are, if you see the map on Google, you can see Iran is in the center of Middle East, and we were always having good relationship with all our neighbors and outside borders. So what we need, we want to get back to who we are, who we were in 1,000 years, and we want to get back the peace, make a good relationship, and no more wars. So the point is, for many years, our people try to show the world that we want the peace, we want to make good relationship with you, but this brutal regime always denied what the people asking for. And now we ask for the help, and actually the help is coming, and you will see in next few weeks what exactly going to happen. uh, Either the lefty media want to listen to our people or not. We will do what should we do, and we should release our country from this brutal regime hands and make a new Iran, which all of us thinking about it. Just imagine more than 10 million Irani people get out of their country because they couldn't make a peaceful life for themselves, and some of them are in exile, and many of them just crying day and night for their country to go back there and try to make their country great again. And just consider this: we Iranians always looking forward for good things that gonna happen to us. And this is not a war. We none of us here call it as a war. This is, we call it as a military helping to our people to change this regime. And I 100 guarantee that when this regime change, you're gonna come to Iran and you're gonna see our people, how they behave and how they act, and you will see the real Iran on that time. I will promise you this one. Thank you, Keiko.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. So let's go on, Mrs. Zarandaji. Welcome. If you can keep going. Can you hear me, Mrs. Zarandaji? Are you there?
Okay,
Yep.
can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep.
Mr. K. Khosrow, Durud to all our friends on the stage and in the audience. I'd like to make a correction. I hope you don't mind. I've lived in the United States for the past 46 years, and the topic of your room you have placed as leftists. Americans, they do not relate themselves to leftists. The correct way of your topic should be liberals. The liberals are in the United States are the ones like in the universities or most of the Democratic parties, they call themselves liberals. That the topic should be changed because there is no relation. I mean, the definitions of these two words, how people relate to them, most Americans, they don't call themselves leftists. That's the words that
Yeah,
we
I get
use
you,
as
but
purpose.
Mrs. Zarandaji, we have now, it's a little bit tricky, because my point of view, I live in Germany, and my point of view was exactly the same leftist groups in Germany that they call themselves also the same, and they put this scarf on their necks and they come out on the streets of Germany or every other European countries. If we focus on US, you are completely right, but I don't know. Let's just,
Well, if
yeah,
your room is in English, your audience should be mostly English speaking and
not for
not German.
sure.
I understand. I understand that you live in Germany, but like I said, U.S. People who live in U.S. and Canada, they don't relate themselves to leftists. That leftist is a very, how can I say it? Is a heavy, has a lot of. Stuff behind it that Americans or I'm not sure about British, but over here they don't consider themselves as leftists. They consider themselves liberals. And the problem that we have in the United States with the media here, like CNN or MSNBC or the news that people get on their iPhones, the phones that we all carry, it's mostly coming from the liberals that live in the United States, and the media affects the same issue that we have in our own country, that some traditional Muslims, they go after Islamic Republic, and then 90% of our people are pro-West. The differences are very big. Same thing in the United States. In the United States, the conservatives or the Republican Party, are mostly toward the right, but the left, which they're liberals, they don't comprehend what our people are saying. They cannot even understand and believe that a nation would want a war coming to their country. Those are the issues. I just want to make a notation on that. You know me, I don't talk too much, but I live in Washington, D.C., and I see this day after day, especially in Washington, D.C. area. They're mostly uh, because of the demographic of the people, and there are a lot of immigrants over here. Mostly are Democratic, and they're federal employees, or even in the universities in the United States. Mostly they're called liberals. That's the only thing I wanted to say, and I hope you will consider it. And also,
Yeah.
one more suggestion: in case if you want to affect the people who come to Clubhouse, I believe we should find the rooms that they talk about politics in United States or England, and then the whole like 200, 300 of us to go to these rooms and explain it to the Americans and the British that how we feel, because most of the audience over here in this room are Persians. I don't think that we'll be that much effective by speaking for ourselves. We have to influence them on the other side of the aisle, and the Americans and the British to understand, make them understand that this is how we feel and how people inside Iran feel.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Zarnashi. I don't know whether you were from the beginning of this room here, so that's why I just want to repeat again the explanations. I mean, the logic behind this room. For sure, we would know from the beginning that most of the participants here they are Iranians, and we know that there are also some other ways that to go into the. I don't know the your mic is on, Mr. Zarnashi. Can you please just close it? Thank you. Yeah, the point is that actually we wanted to make a survey from the Iranian communities. Then this survey you see now above my profile. This survey is not from the rooms that you cannot find this survey inside the rooms that you go, for example, to the, I don't know, American room, and all the Americans vote for Iran and they say we want anti-war. And then you see the results there above, it would be around 90, over 90, 70% they are anti-war. You know, the logic behind this room is not actually the audience. I said from the beginning, that's for us, we are going to record this room. This room is going to be recorded. We will try to broadcast it later out from Clubhouse. We even just talk with the people that we have, that later they can even just try to push it and transfer our, because you know that, for example, we have this live from YouTube, right? Where it will be also at the same times live and on the YouTube, and you can also just hear our voice there. So the logic behind this room was like this, that our focus for this room, this only room, was actually the Iranian communities, once again. And another explanations regarding the title of the room, I should also just add, you know, guys, you're not the, maybe because you're not holding the rooms, maybe Vanessa can understand me better. We always have the limitations with Clubhouse to choose the words, you know. There's a lot limitations, you cannot put a lot of sentence there. Regarding choosing the words even, I gonna tell you why leftists again. For sure, your point regarding US is completely true. But as I said, actually, one of my biggest focus on this room is actually on Europe, to be honest. And I know how the AI is working. I mean, for example, our voices is now recorded here and even on YouTube. And because since I live in Germany, the rooms that I open up from here would be more seen actually in my country or in Europe than even in US. You know, there is a lot of logic, Mr. Zarandasji. I cannot just explain you everyone sentence by sentence, but your point is also really good because your voice is actually also here is added, and the people that later they can access to this room, they can clearly understand that when we call lefties, for US, the version of the leftists is for sure the liberals. Thank you. You have any more comments? Feel free. Tell me.
No, sir. Thank you very much for your explanation. I'll go down. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Nabi, you had something to say?
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to say regarding opposition of Iranian regime, that listener can hear our voice again about this matter. Uh, as many known Iranian might don't know the history of Iran very well, so we've been a country with long history, as a few other colleagues mentioned. But most of this time we had monarchy, and about 120 years ago we had a very big revolution, which was constitutional revolution, which ended up with constitutional monarchy. So in 1979, when this Islamic revolution happened, they unfortunately, with lots of left-wing party influenced by Russia and other Islamic group, they managed somehow to mislead Iranian society, and revolution happened with even help of some Western country, with many other reasons, which I don't want to go into this matter. But in the last couple of decades, as Kay has mentioned, Iranian tried to change the approach and management of this regime by different voting system, which they tried to go vote for reformists. But again, the fanaticism regime didn't allow that people's vote going to be heard. What happened ultimately, although there were some representative of this regime, either journalists or political activities, which are all either Communist Party or left side, left wings, which they were somehow directly or indirectly supporting regime. Even right now, during this day, there are hundreds of Iranian activists, which they are all left-wing party, and still they are supporting the regime. They go anti-war and this kind of slogan. But the reality is that most of Iranian people are in favor of constitutional monarchy, and they all have came out finally when Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi has announced that people who are seeking freedom, they have to come out, and people responded in millions on 8th and 9th of January, and millions of people, some reports say up to 35 million people in most of Iranian city came out, and they only called for one name, which is Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi, who is exiled in America since revolution in 1979. And he's, in most of Iranian opinion, is the most reliable person to lead this revolution. And he has mentioned clearly in so many statements and videos and speeches that he is going only through democratic referendum and allow people to choose the future regime. And that's what we were trying to tell other people in Western society. But unfortunately, again, somehow, maybe it's been partly our fault that we haven't managed to raise our voice to known Iranian people. I give you one example. Just 2 days ago, I had someone, and he was saying, "Yeah, I'm so sorry that so many people are being killed in your country." I said, "What do you mean?" He said that you had bombardment. I said, "Wait a minute. Who said that people were killed?" So and then I explained to him that all this bomb that been thrown in our country, it's all gone for military bases, and not even one residential place has been bombed. He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." So the point is that either those non-patriotic Iranian or representative of regime who've been receiving huge amount of funds to support the regime in Western country, or these left-wing journalists and news agencies who are raising that kind of voices, which make normal people in Western country think that US and Israeli bomb Iranian people. So hopefully this kind of voices will be heard by other people, and we need to do more to make sure that the truth will be reached to Western people. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Amir. Elham, you came a little bit late, but it's quite fine that you're here. That's very cool that we have also Elham. Elham, she's also in US, Vanessa. Vanessa, you are actually today as a messenger for this room. You're like a prophet, you know, because you see once for all, maybe in Clubhouse, that a community of more than 95%, let's say, in this room, we are all Iranians, and you see this survey, what we have there as a pool. Then later, when you go into your community and you explain about the Iranians, that what they actually themselves think about their country and about their situations, you can clearly just transfer our comments to your, I don't know, to your friends whenever you found them. And that's cool that you're here. I'm really thankful. Elham, if you have mic, and feel free to join us. Keep going.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm so sorry I'm late. Well, Vanessa, nice to meet you. My name is Elena Jaffe, and basically, what really interests me is the issues with related to women and children. But in this matter, I'm an Iranian descent, so definitely the issues with Iran and the very serious matter that's at hand is extremely important to me. Hence, I spend a lot of my time, my personal time, with related to this. And I want to be the real voice of the people, which is the most important if we all have any intention to come to democracy or a better situation in Iran. So I came to Clubhouse after watching something which was extremely troubling me, and it's kind of sad as well. There are questions that one should be asking of themselves, like an evil regime like Islamic Republic that kills citizens at no cost for itself and feels free to do so, and it stayed in power 47 years. How did it stay this long, in power? And there are so many different answers people can give. And I hope this is the question people ask because, at this point, after 47 years, you can see that the people don't support this occupying regime, as I call. I was watching a show that Bernie Sanders hosted yesterday. He invited 3 people from Nyack, and it's just mind blowing. I think any politician in the United States by now should be familiar with this group, Nyack. Basically, the voice of, the arms of mullah, that they lobby for mullahs, they promote, advocate for mullahs, and there has been investigations about it, etc. And one can go look at the details as well. But here, this is where we lose the opportunities. Not this time, but we have been. Is when you have the enemy at the table telling you how to destroy itself. It won't work. It won't work. If you have Nyack at the table to tell you what the issues are about Islamic Republic, they're not going to tell you what the issues are. If you have Nayak at the table to tell you how you should be removing Islamic Republic or, I don't know, somehow solve the situation, you won't have any solution. You can have the enemy part of the solution. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And this is like really troubling me right now because I mean, I think that people should be using common sense, especially Bernie Sanders. I mean, he's he's an experienced senator in different occasions. I've seen him not coming forward and be honest about his actually knowledge that can be available to him, like the claims he has made in the past, and the CIA released documentations showed that the claims he made were untrue or not correct, and he never came through to correct what he initially stated. But now, yesterday, I see he's got this gathering of 3 people on his own show. I'm sorry for that, and I'm sorry that this from that standpoint, like if this is the Democratic, the Democratic Party view. I mean, like why something human rights related? Why something that can be an opportunity not just for Iranian, for the world to come to a more peaceful, more less volatile region that can benefit everybody? Why, when you have such a golden opportunity, you go bring the enemy to the table to do what? And I'm just like, it's very I don't know. It's uncanny to see that how these are all very related. Having these kind of politicians in power, and then you have 47 years of oppression, and then you have 47 years of lost opportunities, and I'm just hoping that American people are becoming more aware and informed. And also, anyways, this matter really made me wonder why people do that. But more than that, we can't be running around and then tell everybody what to do. We can only hope that people can use their, best of decision making. But we have to try our best to remain informed. So I'm really grateful, Kay Khosrow, you set this room up. And I'm hoping that we can maybe, we can have more of Vanessa and everybody else. I haven't even heard her voice in the room. So then we can think together and, learn from one another. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much, Elham. You have something to say, Vanessa? If you
I do. I appreciate that. I did share your room already. I took it over to my Patreon or to our Telegram pages that we have, and I already put the link there. And I saved the replays. That way, please don't let the replays go over. I saved the replays
now
so
it's
that,
already saved. Don't worry.
okay, I saved the replay so that we can have it later and to that way I'll play it in my room so that they can hear the stance of the people from the area, from the country. And so we often do that, play recordings to hear different politicians or whatever, our president, hear his speeches. So we do that often. And I'll do that with this recording as well.
Very kind of you. Thank you, Vanessa. So let's just go for
Can I
Shahab.
make a comment?
Yeah, Darish, give your comments and then we go to Shahab. Let's go on.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you. I appreciate that. Just want to remind ourselves that I think you heard as well. Uh, the Cuban community diaspora in the U.S. had recently a rally to support Iranian people who were massacred, and they had flag of Israeli, Iranian, and American. That was very wonderful. We really appreciate that. Just wanted to let you know that. Thank you.
Thank you, Darish. Up to now, 372 votes. 96% already said yes, please continue the war and help. 5% said no, stop the war. Please, guys, yeah, I see a lot of you that you already, yeah, you've not voted yet. Yeah, please just share. At least we reach to the number 400 before we are about to close the room. Thank you. So let's go back for Shahab. Shahab,
Hi again, okay. I just want to add a quick comment to your uh, survey. We have so many evidence in front of us. After that, we have 12 days war happened, and it stopped after 12 days. And what happened after that? What happened after that? The massacre after that happened, and uh, that's why we asked for help, because the situation had been locked in that time, and we need game changer, someone powerful like US and especially Trump. Uh, of course, we are suffering by every bomb that throwing down to our people, but massacre is brutal, and the situation not going to change with the same uh, viewpoints of the regime, because we are still suffering sanctions, inflations still over there, and if they not change their mind, this loop will continue. Thank you, Kate.
that's actually a really important point. Thank you, Shahab. I completely forgot that to say. Um, we know that still there is a lot of this military, this how to say call them the They hiding. Yeah, they are in the shelters. They went from their military bases somewhere else, maybe even underground. There's also some evidence that some of them they already hide away somewhere, and they're waiting for a moment when, for example, the Prince Reza Pahlavi wants more chance for the people to come on the streets, and they come back with weapons and they try to do the same masquerade they did already on 8th and 9th of the January. The point is that that's another reason that we Iranians says as long as it's possible to get rid of them, we really support the continuing the war. You know, we really want to get rid of them as long as we can. In order to, our comments is quite clear. Our point is quite clear. In order to avoid such a mascara again, because we know that the peoples of Iran, after that mascara on 8th and 9th of January, they are all waiting for the true moments to come. You know, Prince Reza Pahlavi already said, just stay at homes and wait for my next message. And the people are counting the moments until that message. But our biggest concerns is that there is still such a cruel, such a murderers that they're hiding somewhere, and they're waiting that to do the same genocide they did on the 8th and the 9th of January. Then that's why we insist on continuing the war as long as we can do the as the Shahab said, we can change the game. That's a game changer. That's the true word that you use, Shahab. Thank you so much. So we get back to Lale. If you have mic, feel free to join us.
Yeah, thank you. I just arrived, so I would appreciate a little bit of context, and I would like to say hi to Vanessa. Nice to meet you. And Vanessa is the only non-Iranian guest here, right?
For now, yes, we had
Yeah.
already also some few audience, but as I said, the good things is that Vanessa already introduced herself.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
tell you
Right.
again once because this is quite interesting. Elham, Lara, you came just a little, you're a little bit new in this room. Vanessa was probably the only one under. She voted for no, stop the war. You know, and
Oh, I
after we
see.
invite her and she just listened to us, she changed her vote, you know, to yes, and that's enough
Interesting.
for us. Yes, keep going, Lala. We
Yeah, I
unfortunately we're gonna.
will. Yeah, I would definitely. So, first of all, nice to meet you, Vanessa. Nice to have you between
Likewise,
us.
likewise.
Yeah. Are you based in the US?
Yes, I am. Uh,
Which state are you
I'm
in?
Ohio.
Oh, nice. Well, yeah. So, first, I think I heard about the scheduling this room, but I think it was yesterday. Kay Khosrow was talking about, and I was hoping that I could uh be able to make it because it was during the business hours, and I just finished work. I hop on, and now you guys are here. That's great. So, um, just like Kay Khosrow said that you voted no to war first. Is that right?
That is totally correct. I mean,
What were you thinking
well, this
then?
is what I was thinking. I did get a chance to explain why. And how do I say your name? Layla?
Lale.
L-
Or
One,
yeah, Lala. You can call me Lala.
Lala.
Yeah, I
Okay.
go with Lala.
Lala. Okay. Well, Lala, I'm a business owner, entrepreneur for since 2010 in my country. And if you're a business owner, you know that war hurt can hurt a business. So I'm thinking like that. I'm thinking death. I'm thinking your country being torn. And I'm also I also had honestly a thought process because of propaganda put in my head about your country that been on your stage, and since this war I'm able to get up close with the very people that is a target, whose families are dying and being torn apart. So now I can ask questions, and I'm a mother and a grandmother. Nobody wants war. And even those on the stage, on the panel, express the same. They don't want war. But now understand the necessity of a regime that needs to be moved and how that needs to happen. So until I'm able to ask those questions, I had one thought process, and even of your people. And so being on your stage now, it makes sense. And my heart goes out for all of us. And so I like to see Iran reach its goals and even my country and everyone involved, and the bad regimes to come down so that rebuilding can just start. And so that's my reason. That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's a thought process. That's actually, I'm not surprised because that's the thought process by everybody, and that's our challenge, really. That has been our challenge in the past 2 months to really send the message across exactly how it is under so much propaganda and fake news that you're aware of. You know, if you live in the US and you lived Trump era, you know what fake news is. So the same applies to us. So our the paradox was really about, well, the Islamic Republic has spent so much money to create propaganda to promote the idea of Islam is the religion of peace and the religion of comfort and all of those things, whereas behind the scene, I'm not talking about the religion Islam, because all religions could be respectable as long as they don't harm people, but the reality about the Islamic Republic was behind all of these promotions and everything that was going on with the face of the Islam they were trying to show and demonstrate to the world. They were actually committing a lot of crimes and on top of all terrorism around the Middle East, and also now they're getting into the Western countries, European, and in the U.S. alone, we only had 3 terror attack, local terror attack in the past 2 months. So now the world can see it. In the past 47 years, almost like half a decade, I mean, half a century, almost 5 decades, we've been trying to really talk about it as the people of Iran, but our voice couldn't get too far because the leftist media and the propagandas and everything that goes with these really monsters in the world, that they're trying to create chaos so that they can live through the chaos. um, it was way stronger than what we could do, but now, um, in a very funny and ironic way, the situation has gone in a way that the U.S. and Israel, they have their own reasons to attack Iran, right? It has nothing to do with the reason why we don't want Islamic Republic. And then it just coincided in a way that it's just a right timing for everybody to get rid of this regime, this brutal regime, this terrorist regime. And now that it happened, that now we are having, like, we are the field is leveled now, and we are stronger, in a more stronger position to really face this brutal regime. And now the problem is that it's kind of against the whole pro-Palestine movement across the world. And now we have to prove ourselves that the fact that we want to free our country has nothing to do with the fact that we are pro or against Palestine. It has nothing to do with one another. This is just completely irrelevant matters that we are trying to address. And that is our challenge, so that the more interpersonal relationship or communications that we have, just like yourself, and you can bring more people into this awareness that Iranian people want to free their country, and freeing their country doesn't mean that they are going to cause problem for any other country. In fact, the other way around. Well, a free Iran will help the world. It will contribute to the peace of the world. It will continue to the I mean better future, not for only for itself, but a peaceful Middle East, for a peaceful world where we can't really see it today because of the existence of this regime. So that is the message that we want to get across to like ordinary people like us, like me, you, or any other ordinary people, regular people who are not part of the media, who are not part of the propaganda, who are not even a politician. We are just regular, ordinary people. And the more we can get this message, like as in you're a businesswoman, so you know the value of word of mouth, right? You know it very well.
Exactly.
So yeah, so we really want that word of mouth to work for us, as in it is us, the nations talking, not, we don't care about the media, we don't care about the politicians. Everybody has their own interest in the really fake news, to promoting the fake news. We don't care about them. We care about what the nations of other countries think of us, what they know about us, because we're not a harm to the world. We are actually peace. What we want to bring to the world by removing this regime from Iran, this brutal terrorist regime, we want to bring peace not only for our country but to the world, and we commit to it. We commit to that, and we will be contributing toward that commitment so that the world is a better place, because that's the ultimate goal for all the ordinary people like me and you and the whole nation, to continuously working towards a better world, right? So that's what exactly we want to do. And whoever is helping us to spread this word of mouth for everybody to know who we are, what we want to do, and and probably the fact that we want to free our country from this brutal regime, who happen to be um, um, pretty much pretending that they're pro-Palestine, but they were not really. They are the ones who are, fueling all the wars and all the chaos and everything that bad going on between Palestine and all the other, countries like Israel, let's say, and everybody in that region. They are fueling that under the cover of pro-Palestine, and we want to uncover it. We want to reveal that this regime is not who they say they are. They are not the ones who are defending Palestine. They are actually putting Palestine in trouble more and more. And as you can see, in 47 years that they've been in power, and they've been claiming that they are trying to help Palestinian people, there has nothing good has happened under the support of this regime for them. In fact, the reverse. It's been, look at Gaza right now. Like, where is that? I mean, we don't want the rest of the world to be where Gaza is. And that's all we want to communicate to people like you. I'm sorry, I spoke too much. But I hope that you get the point, at least. Like, I'm an Iranian American, and the U.S. is as much my country as Iran is. So I have love for both countries. And talking to you as an American actually makes it more comfortable and easier for me to explain what it means.
I'd like to say I've been on this app since its beginning, 2020, January of 2020 for me. And what's the chances of us coming together? I've been in my community, and let's see, I'm looking at your friends and other people's friends, and they're in the thousands. Some of them, they've been in theirs. And perhaps it's taken a war to bring us together, because we would have never come together. And I don't underestimate
Funny, huh?
the
The war should bring us
yes.
together.
Yeah.
That's the irony of.
Yeah, and I don't underestimate the reach of Clubhouse. I don't, because it does reach out, and word of mouth is critical, especially now. And so I do respect and appreciate everything you just shared. And the chat asks if I had any questions. I actually feel like I can just sit here and let you pour it on me. I'm learning. So I don't have a lot of questions. If I do, I will unmute and speak to the host. But I'm pour it on me. I'm learning and I'm understanding, and those scales are coming off. So I appreciate it all. And I don't
We
that
appreciate you. Thank you, Kay Hoster, for.
Yeah, thank
like
I
you
mean,
for
at least
joining.
starting these is
Uh,
really helpful and bring the nations together is very valuable. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you also just for just being with us, Lara. There is just 2 points I want to add to what you said. For sure, we all not maybe not we all did. There's a lot of people that they also truly believe that what the U.S. or Israel do now is 100% just behalf of the peoples of Iran. I mean, the Iranians feel. But there are also some people like me and Lale that they believe that for sure everyone's for first of all they think about their own nations, and it's quite logic. Yeah. The point is that although we know that the U.S. and the Israel they do it first of all for their security, for any other reason you can imagine of their own nations, and then maybe it would be as Lala said, is coincidental with our wills. We all are thankful from U.S. and Israel because as long as the U.S. and Israel they're trying to be in the same sides and they don't harm our territory, our lands, in a way that we were worrying, oh, come on, maybe there would be some provinces that would come out from Iran. We have those peoples who they want to, I don't know, just to come out from the country as a meaning. And we know that the U.S. and the Israel has no intention like that. So that's why I should just confirm what Lala said. But on the same side, I should also just reconfirm that we are also really thankful at what's happening. Imagine that this one of the targets they try to keep going nowadays on the streets of Iran. They're targeting just this military, this IRGC, who already just killed the people on the streets on the 8th and the 9th of January, you know? So if I was a US or I was Israel and I said to myself, okay, for us it doesn't matter. Let's just be also just a weak government, be there. But we get rid of their nuclear programs. We get rid of their missiles, you know? We get rid of their proxies, and that's enough for us. Point. Then that was not necessary just to get rid of these people. I mean, this IRGC who they kill their own people. So it shows us the wills for US and Israel is now on the same side of the Iranians for regime change. And we want the regime change the same, you know? And that's really important key roles for us at this stage. Anyway, do you have any comments, Mr. Seperi? You're so silent. If you have something to add, please feel free.
Can I just say something quickly?
Sure, go on.
I just wanted to say Vanessa is a Midwesterner, so I also live in the Midwest. So again, nice to meet you.
likewise.
That's it. Okay.
I
So,
want to
guys,
say thank you to Vanessa as well.
yeah,
Thank you for coming to this room and heard us. And please, give our message to your fellow American or friends. And we really need your support. Thank you.
thank you so much. So, guys, we have 394. I only expect you just to vote 6 guys. We need still 6 guys to vote to reach into the number 400. Please, all of the people in this room that you still hear my voice and you do not still participate in our poll. I repeat again our
Hey, Khosrow,
polls
I
here.
have a question
Yeah,
for you.
go on.
Your the voting option number one is please continue, and I can't read the
Help,
rest.
help.
Help Iranian or just help?
Help Iranians, but I could not add some few words more. You know we
Mm.
have limitations problems with Clubhouse, you know, so that's why I could not just add more words. But we already did. We already done. Thank you guys for just taking part and in our polls. There are already 414 votes. Let's just say the end results for this room. 90, 70 percentage of the participants they already said yes, please continue and help. And so you are pro-war even now on this stage. That's a lot of basements already destroyed. Maybe also a lot of good things that could have been in the favor of the peoples in Iran. This is also destroyed, but we don't care. Even if we're talking about the infrastructure or something like that, we build it together. We sure. Our main target is just now the regime change, to get rid of these monsters, these murderers. And after that, we gave our hands together and we rebuilt Iran. So we're sure, we're really confident that we can manage to do it, you know? And 4% until now, 97, let's say 3 to 4%, they said stop the war. Okay, guys, with 400, around 420 votes, we are now at the end of our rooms. I'm quite thankful of all of you who just listened to us over the last hours. Mr. Sohail, Mrs. Seperi, Mrs. Vanessa, Elham, Lale, Dariush, Navid, and all the people who were here or cannot already remember your names, even all the participants down. As I promised, the main point of this Iranian communities to have this room was firstly to give a poll. I think this poll, although that was in Clubhouse, this is much more trustable than the poll you find by Nayak, right? I mean, the Nayak, I already explained, this regime site organization in US who they're just trying to amplify the voice of the regime. They do the same poll, but the participants are mostly from the regime side, and that's why at the end come the result. More than 58% of the Iranians say no, stop the war. No, you see now the true Iranians. It's quite live. We've never organized anything. Now the free Iranians here on these rooms and this community, they all vote freely, and now you see the result. Even less than 5 days, they vote for anti-war. We are all now on this stage pro-war to free our lands once for all from this Islamic regime, from this monster that they do anything at any price to stay at the powers, and we don't want them. We support what President Trump did. We support what President Netanyahu did. We are really thankful from the two nations, and we hopefully build our nations in the future in a very friendly manner with all of the neighbors. We have no enemies, and we don't want to have enemies around the world. We are all humans. So thank you guys for joining us.
Okay, sorry,
I
can I have
Yes,
one
go on,
short
Navin.
comment?
Yes,
Sorry,
sure.
I just wanted to say something to those 4% who are voting against this poll. Uh, I can certainly tell everyone that based on what we've seen from this regime, as long as this regime exists, the Middle East won't see any peace. So if you are against war, which we are against war as well, so let's get rid of this regime that the whole Middle East be in peace. And this will be proven by history within 10, 15 years past this regime, the whole Middle East and consequently most of the world will be in peace because this regime manipulate all region, including Afghanistan, Iraq, Lebanon, Palestine, Oman, Jordan. It go all over because it want to export his ideology, his religions, and that's why we want to see peace. So those who are against war, let's help us to get rid of this regime to be in peace. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Navid.
I have.
Yeah, go on.
I thank you and support you and all of the guests here, specifically Vanessa. Thank you for you coming here and other friends, and ask you please continue these titles in in Clubhouse. Thank you.
Yeah, we would sure be in contact, be in touch later, and we can also just go to Vanessa's room soon for sure. Thank you all for just listening to our rooms. I close now the rooms officially. Let's say end of this room. God bless Iran. God bless United States. God bless Israel. God bless all the nations in freedom and in peace. Keep in touch. We will hear from each other. Let's say goodbye for now.